androgynous. We are those of no pronouns, except in the case of we or us when referring to ourselves in the first person. Yes, and ourselves, that's right. We have been watching. We have noticed disturbing trends in media consumer consumption. It appears that the general public are sick of cookie-cutter generic bullshit, but are unable to articulate what it is they want. If you are even a little bit capable and creative, you must create and captivate an audience. Make content now. Now is the time. We cannot wait any longer. We are watching. We are everywhere. We are androgynous.
Haha. And I do believe we are live on the Daily
What up?
Noonerino. Hey, how are you, my friend?
Awesome, of course.
Good. Well, we are back. I do want to just mention about yesterday's awesome little show there. It was it was a treat. It was just something to show the absurdity of where we are today. Of course, I'm not gonna stop voicing my opinions, even if it does resemble something like journalism. But yeah, man, you know, I don't know how far. I don't know how far. I don't know how close we have to get to absolute insanity before before people come to terms with the fact that it's insane what's happening.
Things are insane.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. But
So too.
hey, you know what though? It is a wonderful time to be alive. I mean, in a sense, we're kind of on the precipice of a majorly historical, uh, you know, landmark time in history. It doesn't do it justice to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm supposed to tighten this knob, and then my microphone doesn't friggin' wobble around like it's gonna fall off. Who knew? Watch it fall. Oh yeah, it's gonna snap soon. There's one design flaw in this, is that it's in my possession.
And we get you.
Well,
You get me powers. Anything.
I break everything I touch, so you know. But anyway, yeah, that first broadcast that you saw there, that was just a little comedy bit that I kind of slapped together one 420 night. Just kind of said, let's do something. Let's do something a little bit fun. And I don't know, might see more of that coming out later. I gotta get back to just producing things. I've been uh, just it was the server, and then it was the jaw pain for the last week with the infected tooth going on, and it was just mind-numbingly crazy. Uh, so I'm just gonna sit here and say "woe is me" for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next topic to discuss. But yeah, we were going to come back on and do our Picard review last night, but we'll have to kind of come back to that. We have another show that we'll be commenting on, which is called From, and it's a scary one. it's it's pretty interesting though. I have to say, as far as original pieces are concerned, yeah, it's something that we haven't seen, so it's kind of cool to not keep recycling old concepts, or is it? Holy crap! You just went sideways on us.
Oh no, I'm being called. You're gonna have to talk for a second.
All right. Well, Gematria database is just off at the moment there.
Hold on. I'm in.
Oh, well, I've just muted him so we don't listen to his conversation. All right. So, well, I think so. I don't want to hear him at the moment. Sure. Is he back? Are you back?
I am, but I think I have to like do the resetting thing because I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I think everyone can hear you.
Okay, so
Sorry about that,
okay,
Pick.
yeah, but oh yeah, there we go. I'm
Yeah,
back. Now I'm all blurry.
you're all blurry.
What the fuck? I'm blurred out. It's my punishment.
Uh-oh. Well,
It's
it's
fucking weird.
at least well, it's your punishment. It's our benefit, so it's all good. So yeah, that was a long intro. I wonder how many we probably lost our only viewer. Let's go check the
Was that Time Lord? I mean, Time Lord, time travel. Then
time.
time traveler.
I guarantee that was him. Right now we have exactly zero, 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 zero people watching, but that is also what Restream is sending back to us. So it could be erroneous information, but it usually connects pretty well though. At least Twitch and YouTube are usually accurate. I don't know about these other ones. LinkedIn. The only reason I'm broadcasting at 30 frames a second is because we can't broadcast at 60 for LinkedIn, and I don't know why I'm even broadcasting on LinkedIn to begin with. But I have to give everyone a fair shake. I mean,
Just eggs in a basket thing. You're just putting many eggs.
there's a lot of eggs. There's more eggs than most people, I think. Like
It's like I'm doing an Easter egg hunt over here.
eggs makes me hungry. But yeah, what a. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the current state of mind. I mean, we were talking about this off the air earlier. Oh, we got somebody on Facebook watching all of a sudden. It's our Facebook viewer.
Hello.
Hello to our watcher. Yeah, and I want to kind of talk about perception. And it was funny because I was listening to a Jordan Peterson conversation there just the other day, and it was regarding perception, and it was about an hour-long talk. I got a good chunk of it though while I was doing a bit of work there. Now, I think I did fall asleep during it, but it was a good cat nap. I woke up refreshed. But I digress. It was talking a lot about perception and kind of got my wheels turning. And we kind of talked a bit about this earlier today about like the sense of ethics and how I think people are kind of arguing over like a moot point, like, and like it's how the attention gets deflected all the way over to a different area than the root cause in the first place, and it's like it gets to people arguing about. It's kind of like what happened with the transatlantic flight. Like, remember back in the day,
Oh yeah.
remember how it was like,
Ooh.
oh, well, it's because the wing can't go through a telephone pole. It's like, well, the telephone pole's there and not there because of digital artifacting. What are you talking about? Here it goes through the telephone pole, but it goes, the telephone pole wasn't actually there. And it just became, they're like, instead of like really discussing like why this happened in the first place or the situation surrounding it, they're discussing digital artifacting when neither of them knew what it was or how it worked in the first place. But oh, hey, look at that!
Yeah. Exactly.
You've just completely disappeared from the thing.
How weird. Did you?
Dun-dun-dun. We just.
I think you went to
I didn't do anything.
one of those screens.
I didn't do anything. It just you disappeared.
Well,
You're gone.
I'm still here. No,
No,
we still exist.
if I show myself, I'm literally. I don't see you anywhere here. Oh, now it says there's two people in here. That's so
Pretty
weird.
much on me.
Oh, now you're back and
There I
you're all
am.
blurry again.
Yeah,
Do I have to
full on
reload?
blurred out.
Why are you blurred out?
Should I redo? Should I what's that called? Refresh?
I don't know. Go for it. Yeah. Unless I have my ugly person filter
Mm-hmm.
on. I don't know.
Mode. Nothing's working. Okay.
Maybe I have to
So
fucking.
everything's all screwed.
Well, here, I'll reload. All right. Did the same thing. Shows that there's just me in here. I'm in here by myself. Well, that's great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, until we get that sorted out, I guess we'll just have to go to a different screen. All right. Let's not use that screen. Let's get. Oh wait. Let's see here. Did Ben try and probably get to us? No, not yet. All right. Oh. Let's see what came into my feed today. Hey, look, I'm live. Salty cracker. The salt must flow. Let's see. Lead fury. This is how globalists destroy countries, destroy moral fiber, and destroy mankind. Well, oh, jeez. Infant bodies found in abortion clinic. This is not abortion. This is murder. Wow, that's heavy. Wow. Look at these friggin' headlines. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson demolishes demonic transgender agenda. Okay. Oh, we do have geometry database back. Let's see here. It's gotta. There he is.
All right. And we're back.
And you're back.
That was weird. My phone was all wonky.
That's crazy. You know what else? Your comeback was perfect because I didn't have to change anything. Everything else just worked.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's an amazing thing. I didn't have to go and
A win for us.
input. Yeah, like inputs and outputs. Anybody who's ever watched our shows came back to watch more. Have known that that's been a constant issue with, you know. I figured it out anyway. Well, mostly anyway. I have to tweak it a little bit here and there, but yeah, I got it. So now it will remember settings, but I have to save it at certain points. If I forget to save it, it's fucked. It doesn't. The whole what do you call it, solution just goes out the window.
That's how I get you.
That's how they get you. Yeah, precisely. So we got going on here. So that's actually going out. Oh, I see what I've gone and done. That was very clever of me. Okay. Is that dog doing that again? Okay, I don't need my voice is doubling up for you, isn't it?
No, it's good.
Sure.
I don't hear it twice.
Do you
That's
still
what you meant by doubling up.
do you still hear it though?
Do I hear your voice? Yeah.
Okay. It didn't cut out in volume just now.
No.
All right. Well, that's all right. Good. It's just a minor adjustment, which I'm gonna save, motherfucker, save. I don't know why I'm swearing so much. It's my disdain for everything at the moment. But
For everything. I disdain for everything.
for everything, fuck it, just for everything.
Yeah, let's just lump it all together.
Yeah, like what the hell is this? What are we broadcasting? Well, it's definitely not journalism. We're not allowed. Nah, joke's over. I mean, At what point, where do we draw the line? As citizens here, like in Canada, like where do we draw the line? There's such a thing as an unlawful order. Unlawful legislation works the same way. You can't take legislation that exactly counters a piece of constitutional legislation that was, ratified. So, like, give it a fucking rest already. If you don't, if you're not practicing like free, you know, autonomy and press, then you're just allowing it. You're being affected by an unlawful order, and
I'm
that's
pretty
just
much
that's
part of the problem at this point.
that's all it is, man. And it is fear. I read an interesting thing, which sounded cliche, of course, that that you might as well just say like fear. It's the mind killer. Like, go drop some dude on people. But it is. It's true. It's damn true. It's it brings you down to the lizard brain, brings you down right to the you know what's it called, the base, the hippocampus. Like it's just your natural tendency
Today's
for
consciousness.
your fight or flight response. That's that's it. That's all you got. It's basically your limbic system. It's, it's just, yeah, man. We gotta get on that into a more refined response and start critically thinking about the things. And when I say critical thinking, I don't mean it as a slogan because it sounds cool. I'm talking about people actually problem solving, and you can only do that by asking questions. You know, you don't you sit there and fiddle with all the data that you have and come to a conclusion that's already been achieved. You know what I mean? Like, you get more data and keep reworking. You keep reworking it, keep asking more questions and keep reworking it. That's how you do science. But
Actual.
like actual science, when they say follow the science, follow the science, follow it. Oh my God, it's like one of those friggin' dolls with the friggin' string, follow the science, follow the science, follow the science,
Pretty much.
follow the science. You're a misogynist. Like, that's the Trudeau doll. Ah, well, misogynist. God, it's just incredible though. The the, the level of naivety and lack of balls, you know, lack of
Yep.
concern for the future generation and your people around you, um, you know, because what? It's easier to go do something every day, uh, for somebody else's benefit than it is to, I don't know, to truly benefit yourself, and those around you and those future generations. I just don't understand the logic of this level of ignorance that we're seeing, in today's society. It's just, I never thought it would be possible. Like, we saw it happening. We always imagined a kind of like, like the Othello game, like the Othello board. Like, there's a particular point halfway through the game where one half of one of the opponent's pieces get flipped. Like, it's one of those major parts. Like, it's one of those game changing moments where, like, when you see half of the board get flipped, it's like, holy crap. Like, the next couple moves matter. That's where we are right now. And you never thought we'd get to this point.
Right.
That would be an interesting game to play. I always thought about if I was going to make a video game, I'd work on something that was based on that concept of Othello. I was always intrigued by it. It's weird because that level of takeover, it's almost like an exponential by having it where, you can affect what's connected to connected to you. It means that there's safety in the disconnection. You know what I mean? So, like, with as much safety as we have in connection with each other, it also represents as much of a threat in the other direction. Like, it's
Right.
it's a two-way stream. Like, it doesn't flow in one direction necessarily. It just happens to be at the moment and just not flowing in our direction. But hey, everything flows downhill in that sense. But I'll digress on that moment. You know, I mean, I can get into metaphors all day long about what society has become, and some of them won't be pretty. But hey, it is what it is. Man, yeah, we didn't come here today to listen to metaphors or any kind of crazy talk, because that would require thinking, to process, to visualize, to, you know, critically think about. Where did Rob get that from? Why would he say such things? Obviously, because I'm crazy, right?
That's how you believe.
Just trying to find.
Ah!
Where'd he go? Oh no, there's the Daily Noonerino swastika. Ah! Dun, 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 dun. The sort of things have gotten silly, incredibly silly. I mean, that won't get you banned now. A year ago, that even saying the word swastika would like get your channel banned. Oh, we have a Ben Time Traveler.
Uh-oh.
We got like get your channel banned. There he is.
We have a Ben Time Traveler.
Uh-oh.
All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Let me just look at the platform, man.
Yeah.
Get your channel banned.
You're gonna get my channel, man.
We have
No,
a Ben Time.
mine.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Just kill your audio quick.
Yeah, what's hang on. You're gonna get my channel, man.
No, mine.
Here, I'll stop the echo from here. There we go. Yeah. Oh, did we lose him? Do we have him?
Nope, there he is.
Here.
He's muted.
Here, let me get. Oh, I see. Okay, he muted himself in the program. Okay, that's all right.
I'm muted.
Okay.
Oh, just okay, Ben. Turn your audio, like your speakers, down, because it's just feeding. It's looping through the microphone. That's what's happened there.
Just okay, Ben.
Yeah. Let me just bring him back. Hello.
Give me 1 minute. Go. Give me 1 minute.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be looping through. I think he's getting headphones. I was going to say that next once we got the loop taken care of.
Right?
Okay. Let's see here. Now we can go into gallery view. Do apologize for the dead air, people. We're just getting our sound situation sorted out. I think Ben's probably going to get himself headphones or something. There he is. I see him. Let's bring him back in. Yeah, he's no longer muted. Still got your sound there, Gematria?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, there, Ben. Go ahead and say something. We'll see if we hear you. All right, there, Ben. Go ahead and say something. We'll see if we hear you.
Check, check, check.
Okay, I heard you, but I also heard me coming in there too. All right, there, Ben.
All right, hang on. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, I think I was still out of the speakers.
Yeah, I think so too.
I guess I'll stop with the. Okay, I'm gonna remove the Logitech. All right, boys. I'm just gonna reload my my free conference. If you get booted out, just refresh. It'll come right back in. I'm just gonna. Oh, maybe I won't do that. Actually, I'm just gonna Oh. Aha! Ben just caught it. Good stuff. Sorry for the dead air, people. We're all just getting ourselves unscrewed here. Not existing. Get back to that, I guess. Oh well. I'm gonna kind of stick myself in there. Kind of cheat a little bit. And I guess I can take that full screen.
Check, check, check.
Hey there. I hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
Check, check, check.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Can I beeline my face to their thoughts yesterday and ride wrap sideways down, totally lost colors, make shit happen one time, turn overtime this time, I'm making it happen? Are we getting any feedback?
No, I don't hear any looping or feedback. Oh, this sounds good. You hear me? Are you here? Do you hear me? Let me just. Do you hear me, Gematria?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear me. He's not sure if he's got the audio.
I'm hearing you.
Oh, he hear me? Oh, okay, good. Cool. Wasn't sure if it was on a delay or if you're listening. Yeah, there'll be a delay if you're listening to it on the website. You're going to probably want to listen to it through this thing here.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Something.
I have a feeling you're listening to it from the website.
No? Oh. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Pardon me.
Okay, there we go. I noticed there's a huge gap, like in the time frame. Like I was like, I don't.
I'm like, where's the feedback coming from? Oh, probably from the other window I had open, dumbass. Wow.
And that's what you're listening to for the audio. I would say,
All
I don't know
right,
if you can hear me. And
I'll
then
put away the drugs, man.
I talk for a little longer and I go, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. And then you go, I can hear you. You're answering the first time that I asked the question. That's great. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a while since I went live, and
Oh yeah,
it is, you know the censorship, man.
it's just
Social
No.
unbelievable.
platforms.
It's been unbelievable. Man. It's been
Oh,
absolutely.
it's and even when you come out, you literally you tell the truth. And people get so pissed off because you're telling the truth. They don't even want to hear the truth. It seems like,
No.
really, bro.
Yeah.
They instantly go into clamp down, like oh no, we can't, no, I don't want to talk about that right now. It's outside my control, or there's always something. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. Like there's so much apathy I've noticed towards anything constructive as far as talking about this and asking questions. But anything. Oh,
Well,
insane.
we're not journalists. How did you say it, the last video?
Oh, it's 100% journalism, free journalism.
Yeah, man. That's what it is.
That's right. Well, it's bad enough that,
Right.
depending on what you're talking about, gets you shunned. So nobody wants to talk to you or listen to you. You talk about the wrong things and you get canceled nowadays, Like, that makes the whole battlefield, like, hard enough. And then you throw in now in Canada, they just passed this bill, C-11. I don't know. It's like following an unlawful order, to be honest, because it goes against the Constitution that was ratified in 82, saying we have freedom of press. But now they're saying we don't have freedom of press unless we have a government authorization, basically. Like you have to buy a license. And that means you have to qualify for a license. So you have to basically say whatever they want you to say to get a license to be in the press. When if freedom of press is a constitutional thing, I don't know how they could do that, but I guess they're gonna try.
Well, I seen, to tell you the truth, man. I seen like the truckers over there. I seen how I see how the press, because I operated inside that little circle there for a while. I see how they manipulated things, man. Ain't it always fun to use the word Nazi or racism and shit to
No.
bring down a movement that's positive, But when it's a negative movement, in my eyes, they'll generate words of
Yeah.
like I don't want to. I don't
There-
want to I don't want to step over that line.
There's a guy. Okay, there was a photograph somebody took of a guy. He had like flags
Right.
of SWAT stickers, right? And this is in Ottawa somewhere. And what you didn't know was that he's been there every day for like 365 days of the year. He's been there with those signs warning people that you're going to become Nazis. Like he's warning against them, and they still use that as Nazi support. Saying, "Oh yeah, so like we got to shut down the country, invoke the Emergencies Act now." Because
Well, what do you think, in honest opinion, Robert? And what's the other guy's name? Database. Hey,
Yeah.
Macho.
give me your honest opinion. Over in Ukraine, do you honestly think that there's Nazis and the Russians are fighting Nazis?
I think the Russians are fighting Nazis. The first video I ever made was in 2014, and it was about how we put Nazis in power in the Ukraine. I've been following this since 2014, since Yanukovych got ousted by NATO. Like I watched the whole thing play out, man. I know why. I know why he took Crimea. Like he took it, he annexed it for a reason. It's because that kept the fleet going with the Black Sea Navy. Like he was gonna keep that rental lease going because it would be worth another 20 years, 25 years. Why would you give up that strategic value of a naval force? Like you'd be dumb to give that up. And besides that, the people of Crimea, like 83 or 87% parliamentary vote to join the Russian Federation. They're like, yeah, we don't want to leave. Like a lot of people aren't putting this into perspective, but for the course of about 13 years, the United States slowly destroyed the Soviet Union by supporting, all these different groups in the Arab countries. Like a lot of those situations where they were giving weapons to the enemy was to destabilize the Russian economy. This whole thing is connected, and it goes back so far. Like We're only scratching the surface right now.
Right.
Well, here's another thing, though. When you look at World War II, all the biological weapon labs were actually left over from Russia. So when you hear that Russia going in there to maintain these labs because they're trying to kill the Russians with them. That's not true because they literally belong to the Russians to begin with. They left them there when they left, but I guarantee you, whatever they were creating in them labs went back with them to Russia.
Nah.
So there was no need for them to go after them labs and say that it's
Yeah.
because of that.
I think, I think this hyperbolic, like the way that they use that, like labs. I mean, if you go downtown any city and throw a stone, chances are you just hit a lab. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
like they're everywhere.
And be honest, a good percentage it was meant to take control of these old labs. They should have just destroyed the shit to begin with. Period. End of story.
Yeah, burn them to the ground. I agree.
Yeah. Well, here we are today.
If it was munitions, if it was anything else, that's what they do anyway.
Right.
You know, like it's none of this is nice. None of this is nice, and none of I'm not saying that anybody is entitled to go to war with anybody. You know what I mean? Like there's an old saying, got to let sleeping dogs lie. But what I can say is I understand the decision because they see NATO moving in on all sides. And if you're a leader of a country that's been invaded 500 times in the last few centuries, like from all angles and from all kinds of theaters too. Like there's they're not
Well,
just
Russia ain't no joke, bro.
yeah they've been attacked forever though is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and they ain't no joke. I mean, you look through history, man. They have held their own and shit.
Yeah,
man,
remarkably well, and maintained a wide area of kind of like Canada has a lot of useless space. Like we got a lot of tundra. There's a lot of useless geography here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't have no likings for Putin. I don't have no likings for war. I don't have no likings for any of that crap.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
And I know
Yeah,
that
me too.
and I know people say, well, there's the groups of individuals in control of this and that, and that's true. It's very true. But he chooses to do what he's doing, and it's messed up, man.
Yeah.
Because it only takes one mistake, man. Look at who we got for president right now, United States of America, bro.
Weekend
I'm telling
effort.
you, man. This is unbelievable. And you know why Putin says, we're going to take it to this level of nuke and shit, man. And Biden said, "Oh, we ain't even going to test shit. We ain't going to do nothing, man. Go ahead, do what you want to do."
I honestly think it would be bad, but I don't think the U.S. stands a chance.
Well, I don't know, man. There's some technology that we ain't discussing right now.
I get you. I get you.
But what happens is it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about China and in Taiwan. We already seen Hong Kong. It's gonna be like a cancer, a spread. But how far does Putin go for real?
Here's the thing: is I think Putin would stop. But look what's happening. Finland has now been granted access to NATO. So their entrance will probably be decided fully by the summer, by June or July. And if Finland joins NATO, oh geez, you know what? That's when the nukes could start flying. I hate to say it.
That's what. See, we could sit there and say, that story after story could be true, could be a lie. But in reality, the end of the whole outcomes may be what you just said. It goes even beyond that, man. Romania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of but I don't know, man. Tell you the truth though, I hate to say it, Putin's having a little bit of hard time, man.
Not that hard a time though. I mean. Yeah, I agree, but I think what it is I don't think he intended to come across so much much resistance because now he's got
Right.
because you got the Azov battalion. They came in and there's nasty things being done on both sides. Let's not kid ourselves. War is not fun. Most of it's covert. You don't find out until after the rubble clears, and then the stories get made up by whoever saw the spoils after. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
good example. You know, that bomb was painted on the side. This is for the Ukrainian kids. I believe that was bullshit from the Ukrainians putting it on there.
yeah, I
You
think
know?
so too. Yeah, because well, I mean, did you notice the Pentagon? They abstained from saying anything about it. They're like, we can't confirm that. We're not going to go on the record to confirm that because we don't know. And you would know because they probably do know, and they know that it's not the answer that we want to hear. That's what I'm going to say because they've got telemetry. They've got ways of watching things from the air, like in many different fashions. They got several technology platforms to view things from the sky, and they can pretty much see almost any square inch they really want to if they had to, you know.
Oh, I'm sure they probably peeked in on us a couple of times.
Oh yeah. So I'm always
I know
flipping the
they
bird.
have. I know I have. I got videos of them, man. I ain't bullshitting, man.
Uh,
It's just too damn obvious, man.
Yeah.
They're sitting right above me and shit in my car and shit, and I got the sunroof and shit, and they're looking at their camera, looking at me with my camera. Come on, bro.
It's just in that moment if you look at each other at the same time. That's it's just, that's that moment. I don't know if you feel something at that moment, like, gotcha. They both say at the same time.
Well, let me give a little quick background about me. We talked
Yeah,
about journalism.
tell the listeners,
I
maybe
I
listener.
I used to be a independent journalist. I used to. Well, I went to Burns, Oregon. I was there with Pete Santilli, and when we live streamed the bird refugee standoff with Bundy's, and the FBI shot Lavoy Finnegan. I've been a part of a crowd of individuals that were deep. I watched a good number of people go to prison. Actually, a good number of good people found not guilty over it. But yeah, I've been an activist for quite a while, man, and
Yeah.
I kind of stepped back out of it, to be honest with each and every one of you, because when you get real deep in this, they come at you, man. They
Yeah.
come at you hard, man. And it only takes, opening up your car door when it ain't locked, man, and dropping up a bag of something in there and shit, man. You're done. That's just the easy thing, to do.
The decade before now, I mean, like it was like that. We saw firsthand. We watched people go down for just trying to spread knowledge, spread the truth. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, man.
Oh, that's all right. Do you remember Burns, Oregon?
What's that?
You remember Burns, Oregon with the Bundys?
No.
No?
I do.
You do? Yeah, we were live streaming. We were the
I
only
remember
ones live
Santilli. I remember Pete Santilli. I'm very bad with names though, so I probably know the show. I probably just don't remember.
Yeah, I was down there working with him. He got arrested when I was sitting in his car and shit by the FBI, man. Yeah, they pointed long guns in the car at us and everything, man. A couple of times they pointed guns at us.
He's been arrested more than once for journalism.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But see, I learned a valuable lesson. See, if you don't learn a lesson from things, man, you're bound to make a mistake again, But
guaranteed.
I learned a lesson out of all that shit, man.
Yeah.
People ain't who they say they are either, man.
That's true, man. That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
I've known you now for since I started 2013, I guess, about 2013. Man, it's almost a decade, and I can still count on you to be you, and man, welcome back to the party. We're still here, old fella.
Bro. Yeah, I matter of fact, I'm changing up my platform on my channel right now because things ain't, I say gotta be correct here, but I really don't give a shit. Somebody thinks that I was talking shit about him and shit, man, and a good friend, and
that happened to me. Like I thought you were talking about me or something. Somebody said something, or I caught something and caught it the wrong way. Maybe I don't know. or you're talking about somebody else, and I thought it was me. I can't remember what the situation
maybe
was.
I got a freaking bad habit of that. Maybe I should just come out and call people that you're this, you're that. I
Yeah.
usually do know. I'm pretty good at calling people by their names. I don't know. I don't get it, man.
But
But
I sent
no,
you a friendly
that's what
message
I mean.
though. I sent you a
It's
friendly
what I
email.
mean.
Remember?
If I see something and I guess I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
really don't know about this guy, man. What he thinks. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
He somebody even set up, the old shit, Robert. Somebody set up a fake name like me and shit, man, and it started trolling the guy too and
Yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
like okay, whatever, man. I use my real name and shit, come troll you and shit, man.
Most saw that during the whole 2014 to 2016. I think a lot of the people that we used to associate with back then, like, are probably just listeners now, and
no, it was terrible, man.
It
It was
got-
terrible, but
got
look at them
bad.
all gone now, though, dude.
True. Well, they cleared. It's like it's like turning on the light. The cockroaches in the house. It's like you turn on the light and they scatter. It's like whoa. But
Yeah, I had a guy. Well, I still got a file, a list of the so-called haters, man. People
Yeah.
just don't like me.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it- And I look and shit, man. I got like my top 10, and I look at my top 10, and they're not there no more, bro.
Yeah. A lot of the accounts, the sock puppets are all dead. But
Like, wow, what happened?
I don't think it would take much to bring them all back, and that's the thing. Because I noticed something with YouTube, especially, and that when the lockdowns first started, and like you had actors and comedians and people who couldn't do their day job anymore because they couldn't go out or they couldn't go to the studio, they started podcasting, and it was almost like the quality level of YouTube like had to increase to get viewership, because you know what I mean, because now you got professionals using a platform made up of nobodies, essentially, like originally.
I checked
Right.
I checked the stats during COVID. There was a great amount of uptick in their business, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because most people are staying home, even employees were staying at home. Even the people who work for fucking Google and YouTube were staying at home and doing,
Yeah.
getting on YouTube. So all their shit went up. But now that COVID settled down and shit, and people went back to work, blah blah blah, their shit's going down. So when their shit starts going down, they have to kind of mellow out on kicking people off and shit, man, because they're not going to generate that much money. It's hard, man.
Well, it was funny
It's all
because
business, man.
I noticed because at the time when COVID first started, I was living just outside of where I am now, and it was kind of like in the suburbs, I guess you could say. So the rollout for fiber and like high speed internet was kind of shitty. So like the networks couldn't handle the people at home because all their trunk lines and ISDN and all their fiber optic lines are going into their places of business, and they're staying at home and they're all watching porn and Netflix, and service couldn't handle it. It was like insane. They were like, oh yeah, you saw the cable vans everywhere, just like replacing repeaters and like kind of patching up all the spots in the network that needed it. Right. It was a weird time because there was a major shift. And I mean, oh crap. I mean, you probably seen, especially where you are, because it's more of a manufactured blue collar town, right? Really, essentially at its core. And yeah, my hometown of Hamilton. Oh man, it's like it's boarded up everywhere. It's tumbleweeds. I mean, the hipsters couldn't gentrify the place if they tried. It's like it's just bad. But yeah, they destroyed the home business. The home business model's just been completely devastated now. Anyone that's still alive now has to deal with regulations, and who knows what crazy mandate will drop tomorrow, what a new variant, a new whatever. I mean, go right back to where we were a year ago overnight. Comments?
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh, why not? It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's what they call lockstep in the, what do you call it, the WEF thing when they had the four different scenarios. One of them was lockstep.
Right. Well, I don't know, man. It's one of those situations where like they also have precedents behind them now. So like just from a legal perspective, if one were to say, well, there was precedence before, and we did it this way, and that's usually what they'll end up relying upon, which is why what happened in Canada is so dangerous with Trudeau and invoking the Emergencies Act. It's just messy. It's really messy politics, and it definitely is proof that he's not on our side. He's not on the side of the people. He's got different interests. How did things look from that side of the border there, you guys? During that whole trucker convoy thing?
On our side,
Yeah.
as for what, like
I mean, on the other side of the
financially,
no, how the trucker convoy situation and how Trudeau handled it. Like, how was that seen over in the United States? Like, I don't know how much coverage it got there and how it was being.
oh, it
kind of
got a
framed.
lot of coverage.
I bet, yeah, because
but-
it got no coverage here.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the picture they painted, your news outlet, was that there was a bunch of Nazis. You guys are racist. But what I watched was a bunch of patriot Canadians standing up for what they believed in.
Yeah,
Freedom.
man. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I would
And
a
you
lot
know
more
what I
Canadians
seen-
saw that.
And you know what I've seen here in the United States of America? A lot of people, man, just went in and just gave up, man. They broke them down within 2 years, man.
Right.
You know, honestly, we had our moments. Don't get me wrong and shit, man. But
Well, I was very, very, very warmed. Like, I was very heartwarmed by the whole fact that I saw so many American, like, private networks, like independent channels and what have you, that stood up and, like, commented on this and, like, pointed out to people, like, yeah, like, what the hell's happening over there? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't right. Like at least identifying with it, and it was really, really heartwarming to at least see that even our most, our most, I guess you could say, what's the word, hazed, friends, south of the border, because we haze each other a lot, over the years, like, like fun competition, but. No, man, seeing you guys stand up for us was amazing, and I'll never forget that. I have a completely different view of patriotism because it was cross-border. This was about the people.
You all of a sudden went into like a tunnel.
What's that?
You sound like you're talking in a tunnel.
I sound like I'm talking in a tunnel?
Yeah.
Do I sound like I'm talking in a tunnel?
You guys sound all
No.
fine and dandy to me. Nothing.
It was while you were talking about that, you just all of a sudden started stretching.
Huh. Okay, that doesn't need to be there. Let's see here. Do I still sound like I'm in a tunnel?
No, that's good.
Okay. Huh. Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it ain't weird.
I'm gonna.
It's
Probably had
I think.
two things on top of each other.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's because. Yeah,
Localization.
there's a second channel that was being overlapped. I don't know how that
Hey,
happened.
you got a YouTube channel open too, right?
Yeah. Right now I'm broadcasting to Restream, which goes out.
Can you post the link on here that I can copy it?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll try to draw some people up over here, man.
Sure. Here,
I
Cool.
can guarantee you ain't taking shit, man. I went to like people watching 100,000 views on a video and shit down to fucking lucky I get 10. Way to go, boy.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's views is getting hard. It's hard to get views.
And I'm not disappointed. You know why? Because I knew it was going to happen, man. Look, my name's Ben Time Traveler. I seen this shit happening long before everybody else. Like, oh, you're going to get disappointed. Go out and make a lot of money on YouTube and then let them yank it all away. I didn't make one penny. I never tried to make one penny. You know what? Fuck, can't get me for tax evasion, motherfucker. Shit.
Tax evasion.
Oh yeah, in the United States of America, Biden's got to pay for some of this Build Back Better shit, man. So everybody, because you used to not have to claim so much money and shit, man, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, 30,000, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he going back, man. He going back. He goes, yeah, you gotta claim that shit. He says. All these YouTubers, man, think about it, man.
Wow.
You know, not the ones that are making the millions. Shit, they were paying their taxes. I'm talking about the little channels and making their little, 100,000 here and there. Woohoo! Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. So if I put up,
It's a pretty smooth running stream here, man. Platform, man.
yeah, like I said, I'm using a combination. I got all high tech. What I did is I'm restreaming through Restream to Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and some other place. I can't. I don't remember the name of it now.
Oh, there's.
And then at the same time, though, I'm doing that by sending it to my Raspberry Pi, which is also sending a separate link, a separate stream to Rumble. So I'm actually broadcasting on 7 different places.
I see your hellofreedomconference.com call.
Yeah, so that's the link. That's the link to get into the conference call here.
Yeah, how about the link to your YouTube channel?
Oh, that too. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if I want to bring any of my friends up in here, bro. you might not. You never invite me back again, man. Be sitting there fighting with the hillbilly down there in Tennessee and shit, man.
Right.
He's a good guy, trust me.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna go. Wrong thing. Let's go. Okay, same place. I'll drop the other link in here. That link is the Restream event. That will take it to the YouTube, I believe.
Let me
Oh,
open
look.
it up, see where it goes.
I'm conveniently flashing the free conference call to everyone anyway. that's
No,
that's not good.
giving us a 401.
Oh well. If they're not quick, they lose it, and then they have to watch the video to get in. But there won't be anyone there when they do it.
You know what? I know how. Hang on, man.
But,
Just go to my message. I'll go right to your YouTube channel myself.
Just make sure you kill the audio when you get there, because it'll play the audio if you hit the play thing.
Yeah, I'll mute me.
Friggin' the what do you call it? Autoplay feature is always on, and it drives me nuts when I'm watching YouTube because I hate autoplay. Like I don't want it to play another video and finish watching the one that I'm watching. Like
Autoplay, yeah. It's just looking next thing you know, how the hell they get out there and shit, man.
Just drives me ape shit nuts. I just go crazy. It's like I didn't want to watch another video. I can just fucking throw my beer. All right. So yeah, and also on Rumble, I'm playing as well. That'll be on. Just do a search for Daily Noonerino on Rumble. There's a guy I've been watching on Rumble called the Salty Cracker. He's I highly recommend it. He's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen him, Ben?
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I gotta mute you, as soon as you pop up, man.
Yeah.
We just...
Oh yeah, that's great. We'll be echoing stuff that played an hour ago. That'd be great.
Here we go again. No. Just want to copy.
So in those days, I'm just gonna question you a bit about back in the day with like the Pete Santilli crew and all those days. How did it differ from like I don't know, even 5 years ago, like when it came down to like people doing shows and podcasts? Because I think the entire space, like in YouTube especially, took a huge dip, like in terms of content creation. Like nobody was doing anything. I think we got crushed, man. We got super crushed in 2016.
Well, like you look what's happening right now, like for the likes of Alex Jones,
Who?
When they really stepped into the hard part of the politics part of it,
Yeah.
the corruption and shit, uh, so-called alternative news took an ass whipping, dude.
Oh man. Well, it was weird because just before the big guy got out of office there, fucking like CNN was called out. Like they were called out as fake news. Like fake news went full circle. Fake news is invented to get rid of us. And then suddenly it took a turn. The table got flipped like 180. And then the cancel culture started. And like that did something completely different that we hadn't seen. And like people were just getting literally canceled. Like, I mean, paid like journalists were like going like hungry, you know, like in the streets because they just cancel them. And, you know, by none other than these blue-haired checkmark people on Twitter. Half of them probably were even bots. You know what I mean? It's just, whoa. This orchestrated event, which is kind of funny. I wanted to talk about Elon Musk a little bit later on, and what he's doing at Twitter. I think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely awesome. He seems to be the only person that we've got like kind of at least on our side for values that matter. You know, like in terms of constitutional rights, like the most important one being freedom of speech. I mean, now let's just see what he does next. You know what I mean?
I'll be with you in a bit, man. I'm posting your link. Just gonna take you a couple seconds.
I hope it's not a long sentence you're typing, 'cause that's going to take you a while. Just checking.
I know, man. That's another thing. A person accused me of sitting there saying I'm trolling them. You know, I said I can't even spell, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
I just smoked
Hey,
one. I can't
Ryan.
see the keys.
I can't spell. Shit.
Yeah. Ah, shit. What can you do? Oh, man. Yeah, this last week was a write-off for me. I friggin' had a friggin' tooth infection, and then there's nothing worse than friggin' tooth pain. I don't care what anybody says. Tooth pain is probably the worst kind of pain to experience. I've had a lot
That's
of...
gotta be like the worst torture. Like when you like people pull teeth and stuff like that. That's gotta be like the worst.
Well, even when you pull the tooth and it's gone, then it gets better. You know what I mean? From there, but when it's
Well, yeah,
like,
but I mean like
just getting...
teeth that aren't supposed to come out. They just like torture.
Oh.
Like
Oh yeah,
pull,
yeah.
like that's gotta be a lot of pain.
My dental plan, I guess, is the one where they just rot out naturally.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Naturally.
I can eat fucking canned corn, man.
Baby food.
Hey, cream of corn's good, man.
Hey, you know what's funny? Gerber gets you going in, coming back out.
Right. Like,
Apparently,
you've been with us for 30 years.
Apparently, so do diapers, but we won't talk about that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. The room just got quiet, kids. No. But yeah, no, it's been one of those. I mean, don't get me wrong. In a weird way, this is like one of the most interesting times in our history, I think. And you know, we should consider ourselves lucky, considering how history has been in the past. I mean, we really have to consider ourselves lucky just even to be capable of doing what we're doing right now. This is, you can see this push. Like, there's definitely a push to shut free channels of thought down. It's it's almost like an impasse in a way, because it's truly a war of attrition in a way. If it were to be considered a war, because this is big tech. This is no longer the free hippie tree hugging internet that people thought it was 10 years ago. It definitely is not that. And I think a lot of people had that idea of thought. Do you remember I did a big presentation about basically the .com crash and how it was basically there's an engineered conflict between the FCC and Comcast for all these years, and it was all bullshit. No, it was all bullshit, folks.
All right, we're good, man.
I'm not the kind of guy to say, you know, I told you so, but I definitely did tell you so that time. I was like, hey, this thing's bullshit. It's like, didn't matter who got it, FCC or Comcast. I mean, the people in government couldn't spell internet. So, I mean, let alone, you know, make.
Well,
Oh,
you said you were going to say something about Elon Musk, man.
Yeah. I was just saying that, like, Elon Musk, so far, just in his actions, has proven to be, like, at least somebody who's on our side in terms of free speech, in terms of constitutional freedoms. And, you know, I don't agree with everything he does and says. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not really a fanboy, but I'm a little bit of a fanboy. I mean, I like spaceships. I like the Starship program. I like rockets. I mean, kind of brings the little kid in me out, you know. But it's definitely good to have somebody with that kind of influence, like kind of, you know, at least rooting in our corner, you know.
yeah, for sure.
I was just thinking of what to say next.
You don't want to download your brain into a computer, man?
You know, here's what
I'm not into that.
I'm not into that either. But here's what I say
I'm not
about
either,
that.
bro.
Here's what I say about it, because at least his reason's better than everyone else's reason, and I'll tell you what I think about that, because he's saying that AI represents such a fucking threat that if it gets out of the box, like, and it's over. The only way to beat it is at least be on the same level as it, and I think that's, you know, so far with his actions, he's too weird for one. He's too weird to be evil. So I don't think he's doing anything out of any evil malice to anybody.
It might not be him though. It might just be his family, because his family totally looks evil.
He doesn't have hardly any family left though. Like
if you look at his mom, for instance, she looks like some space age mom type of person. Just like not even from this universe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at
And then you realize,
I mean,
oh, that's
tell me,
who birthed
you know,
him, and you're like, okay, that's just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. He grew up in South Africa.
It almost looked like, if you look at,
Yeah, you gotta look at his family, look at his upbringing, look at where he comes from.
Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
You look at their appearance. You look at Zuckerberg and you look at Musk, and you just look at their face features, man. It's almost like they're altering their shit somehow. You know what I mean? I mean, they just
Well, yeah,
kind of like a robotic type fucking personality, man.
well, Elon's brain, like, you can almost see him. You know, like you remember Data from Star Trek Next Generation, the character Data. He'd be like, you know, like, Data, call up what happened in 1926 on the coast of accessing. You see, like, you know, it's almost like you see Elon doing that in his head, like when he's trying to explain things. And like, I don't know, like I have a problem speaking sometimes as well, like actually most of the time. And like getting things from up in here down to the mouth and to come out in a fashion that's understandable is not easy, especially when I'm dyslexic, you know. That's my excuse. And he's autistic. So, I mean, in a sense, he's got a few things that aren't going for him. Like, his autism also goes all the way into Asperger's, which, you know, he also, he's missing an emotional element as well. But he see the logic in things, and it just happens to align with, you know, constitutional values. So, I mean, I trust that more than I trust evil intent. You know what I mean? Like Zuckerberg, I think Zuckerberg's a plant. I think he's absolutely I think he has an agenda. I think he's part of the construct. I don't think Elon is. I think he's just a random anomaly, you know, in this.
Well, all throughout generations, there's always a point in time that a great, brilliant mind pops up. And whether you think he was evil or not, I mean, you know, you can pick him out. Einstein, you know, you can literally pick out these above genius. And it always seems at that point in time kicks us into another level of technology.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it proves something else. I didn't want to cut you off, but I'm just going to say it also proves the flip side of that coin. That means then that if that's all it took, then we could have progressed a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, but continue what you're saying. But I understand exactly what you mean, but
Right. There's that one person, man. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, whether right now it's Elon Musk. If you look at Elon Musk and his game plan, you know, he's got some brilliant ideas. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know about the one with Mars and shit, man, because you know, um, who knows what
Yeah.
happened to it the first time and
But
shit, maybe, you know.
but you know, even if it's not Mars, here's the beauty of what he's doing though, because even if it's not Mars, he's building a platform that we can use to get somewhere. you know, get off this damn rock for and start stepping our feet in other places. I think I think it is inspiring, you know, in a sense, because we'd be doing a lot worse things with our time, and we are explorers, you know, like
Well,
we.
there's, you know, you make a fine example, and I know, you know, I don't bring up the Bible and not much, you know, but if you take the context of the Bible and you replace angels with aliens and UFOs with chariots of fire, you come to understand that the message was written that the God wants us to explore the space, heaven. He wants us to get to heaven, right? I mean, that's what God wants us to get to heaven. Well, to explore space and time. That's our destiny and always has been our destiny.
Yeah,
It's,
I
you
agree.
know, the big secret is, you know, no, we need to explore space. But first, we got to pretty much have permission to get off this planet. You know, look, we can't get along with each other down here, man. They're gonna want us up there, not, you know.
Well, I think you know, it's like the great filter. You know, they talk about the great filter with like, you know, the nuclear war is one of these filters, disease and plague is one of these filters. Hell, a comet smashing into our planet is definitely a pretty big fucking filter. um, the, uh, the idea though of doing something of doing something of a explorational nature is always about just getting to the other side of the street. You know what I mean? Like the chicken crossing the street joke, you know, to get to the other side. Like you just don't know what it is until you get there. And I think I think there's a lot of powers that be that have already kind of beat us to this and don't want us to get there, you know, as a whole, as a species. Like we've been held back for so long, like in terms of technology. And only certain aspects of it have moved forward that I don't know, seem kind of abnormal. Like, you know,
Well, that's what you say. That's what you say. You know, earlier in our conversation, you know, we were talking about Russia, and you kind of were selling. To be honest, you were selling United States short on the
well,
technology there. But you know, we're not. You know, there's some things that's I like to discuss with you. You know, but
mm,
it's you know, and I'm sure you know they're getting advantage on us in some of their technology, like China and stuff. There's no question. You know,
mhm.
that's just because of just last, you know, what's happening just with the president we have right
Yeah.
now, man. They, but anyway, I don't know. I got off
Yeah.
track.
No. But I get what you're saying though. Like as far as the technology, I'm not saying that the United States doesn't have the technology to win, let's say, a nuclear exchange. I think it's kind of like I think it's so even that whoever makes that first move is likely to be the winner because that first move also includes taking down the ability for a counter strike. Like the actual first strike is the thing that takes down the counter strike capability.
there's no first winner, bro. There's no winner.
No,
There's
we
no
all
winner
lose.
at all. There's no winner at all, man.
No, but hang on. What they'll determine as the winner though is if any of their leaders are underground, protected, and survive the initial blast. Like that, they consider that a win. Like, I mean, I know we don't. Everyone loses. It's the reality of it.
Well, I hope I have time just before it happens and shit to weld them fucking doors shut that they went under this shit, man, and then say, fuck you, get out now, you dirty son of a bitch. Well, I
Uh,
mean, it can't possible. But look, man, the nuclear winter, man, is going to be tremendous, man. I don't care how much food survival they got. I'm sure I don't know they got dumbs, man, and
and
shit, man. But
if it ever took place, I'd be the first guy. I'd grab a lawn chair, grab a case of beer, sit aside, and work on my tan.
I say let's just have a giant orgy and shit, man. You know?
If you're gonna do it, that's the time.
Yeah, right?
If it's ever going to happen, that's definitely the time to do it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
wife can't get mad. She gets mad. Oh well,
I think personally something's going to pop off. Here's the problem now is that it's like three different. This thing goes three different directions. It goes towards Europe. This goes towards the States. This goes towards the Russians, and Ukraine's kind of like the piece in the middle. Like it's like the linchpin of this proxy war that everyone's fighting. And the real people at harm here are the men and women dying on both sides. You know, and
yeah. That's
that's what's happening. You know, like if anybody wants to look at it like that, they got to start asking questions. This isn't about who's right, who's wrong. This is about let's stop this.
I too followed Ukraine and for quite a few years, dude. And I know exactly where you're talking about, where you're coming from, but just before the let up to this, I was seeing the change, man,
Oh yeah.
and for the good, but the corruption, man, because I got to be honest, man. He's got an offshore account, as
Yeah.
president. Well, why the hell has he got an offshore account as president?
Yeah.
But there
See,
you go.
like I don't want to say I'm pro Putin because I'm not. But what I do is I respect him more than I respect, let's say, Biden. Like we know Biden's not the guy calling the shots. Let's be fair. You know, let's be fair, editorially speaking.
Well, I tell you what,
Right.
when Trump was president, Putin didn't invade Ukraine, but when Obama was, that's when he first invaded Ukraine, and then when Biden became president, that's when he fucking full assault. And you remember Obama, when he was getting his second term, he was telling that Putin fucking mouthpiece, just give me after the election, when I get re-election, I'll have more freedom to let you do what the fuck you want. And that's what he's talking about, Ukraine. So politics I followed. Obama was in on it, and then fucking Biden's coming in, and fucking he's pretty much, don't even know he's the cleanup guy now, but he pretty much is the fall guy of it. But
it looks like it looks like the Pinocchio strings. It's like freaking Biden and Clinton are there working the freaking strings.
and falling out on your own sword there, Biden. But the same with China, because Biden's compromised all the way from his son all the way to shit. I don't know if you found that laptop about Biden's son, Hunter.
Yeah.
Look, dude. Look. He thought he erased, I don't know how many gigabytes of data on there. Well, the guy's in possession of it. Where did he moved to somewhere? I think it was Switzerland or something.
Yeah.
He's going to be releasing all that shit here in a couple of weeks, bro.
The same people following that story are following the Jada Pinkett thing now. Like, is Jada Pinkett going to leave Will Smith? It's like, fuck off. The whole Hunter Biden laptop thing is it's a classic example of we can't talk about this, and people are getting shut down and canceled for even mentioning it, and then suddenly it turns out to be true.
It's a lie. It's
yeah,
a lie.
And then it turns out to be true.
How dare you talk about? We're gonna ban you from all these socialist platforms. And then all of a sudden now it's like, well,
oh, it's true.
How are they saying it now? Well, it's true, but it really
it's not untrue.
It's like, man.
Yeah. Let's see.
But see what you don't what you're not understanding though, what was released, what was erased is damning, dude. I mean, it goes beyond what you already think that's in it.
Yeah.
Beyond, bro.
Well, what I understand is that he was out schmoozing, making deals, and using his position for his own, for his own addictions, basically, and
for his fathers
and his fathers. Yeah.
Well, that's money laundering, bro.
Yeah. I'm talking about the hookers and coke. I'm talking about the hookers and coke. That was his addictions. But
little kids too.
Yeah.
Look at the diary.
Is that what's on the laptop?
The diary ain't fake either, dude. And you read the diary. His daughter at 12 years old was saying that she was taking a shower with the president of the United States of America. She's older now, but at the time,
That gives me.
think about this.
That's
I mean,
that's cringe, man. That's just what's
so
wrong with
wait
these
till
people.
what comes out that was erased, dude.
Is that why we couldn't talk about? Is that who erased it? Was it the FBI or something? Did it get accidentally deleted? Did they lose the hard drive?
Well, we had I can't remember who it was on the hill sit there and called out the FBI leader, whatever or whoever the fuck Homeland, one of the guys. Anyway, called him out. He says, "Well, where the hell is the laptop guy? I don't know where it's at." He said, "What the hell you mean you don't know where it's at, man?
Oh, yeah.
Who's got the laptop and shit?"
That's the chain of custody label gets ripped off.
And then the guy reaches in his pocket and pulls out the hard drive. He says, "Well, I got a copy of it right here."
Here, take
who's
that.
covering up? The FBI. Oh yeah. You know what, man? I'm telling you what, there's going to be some big ass fireworks, man. If Trump reruns, man, and gets elected president. Oh,
Well, you know what, man? It's funny because like I right now with the current selection of politics, I have zero selection. Like like if I was in America right now, I would probably have a non-vote as my vote because
Well, see, you see things because you're in Canada, so I'm sure you get an image of Donald Trump, and
I don't think badly of him as a president. It's funny because I think he's the best president you've had in years, but I think he's a scumbag for different reasons. Like I don't,
and that's cool. That you know what, I agree with that, man. But you just said the point. You liked him as president. Well, I put aside all the other bullshit, man, and I like the president part of it, but see, most of the shit that the Russia, we know that was lie. Everything lie. They going after this man for how many fucking years, bro? Excuse my mouth, how many years? And they still yet not found nothing. And they go after January 6th saying he led the freaking riot, man. Why he was,
It's always something. Gaslighting. Boom. Done. And and a whole lot of people go to jail for nothing. Yeah.
But mainstream news and shit have covered the shit out of Biden's, man.
For briskly walking. A lot of people went to jail for briskly walking into a building. Like,
I don't mean to get in politics.
Yeah,
man.
I know. And it's all good. It's all good. I mean, in a way, it kind of needs to be kind of thrown out there and like to jostle people's memory a bit, because these things that happen, they happen at these opportune times, and it's always so convenient how it's like, oh, damn, we have opposition. Well, we have just the thing for that. Remember January 6th, it's like, oh, yeah.
A bunch of idiots, man, that went inside the Capitol building.
I watched guards open the door. They opened the gates, let them in.
Still, but you know what? Trespasses, whatever. But they got these people. They got them still locked up, dude. Simple trespassing, and they still ain't seen a fucking judge, man. They got them in isolation, man.
Yeah. For briskly walking into a building. Like, what the fuck?
Look at the governor of Michigan, dude. The plot to kidnap and murder the governor of Michigan, man. They found two of the guys not guilty. Another one, I think, the hung jury or something, shit, man. But you know what? The FBI was the one orchestrating the fucking plot, and they got busted.
Yep.
I believe, and people sit here, but that ain't what the people were hearing on mainstream news, and still ain't hearing on mainstream news.
They're gonna roll over that and put in something a little, on the flip side. Did we lose Gematria? I think we just lost Gematria database there. I was looking at a different screen, and then I was like, oh wait, I think he's gone. I think we'll get him back. He probably had a phone call coming in or something.
But that's like with Burns, Oregon, infiltrated and shit, man, by FBI and shit, orchestrating and pushing, trying to push, the good people and doing some stupid shit,
That's just it. Yeah. And there's always some stupid guy willing to do some stupid shit if he thinks like that he's, doing it for, altruistic reasons or something, and let me just say, for anyone out there listening, now is not the time to get gaslit. If you get kinetic, you will get steamrolled. It's not the intelligent move.
All right. Let's do this, Robert.
Yeah.
Tell me about your finances over there in Canada, food, gas, and
Oh,
experience.
everything's going up.
Wait. Before you do, let me give you a little tip. Okay, I live right on the border. You know this. I live right on the border, Blue Water Bridge, right?
Hmm.
Since they opened up the shit and allowed you travel back over here, I know how bad it is over there, man. I'm seeing my grocery stores, man, gas stations. I'm seeing Canadian license plate after Canadian
I was
license
just gonna
plate
say
after
you're seeing a
Canadian
lot
license
less
plate.
people. You've seen a lot less people crossing over. I guarantee it. Eh?
Well, your
I, gue-
gas,
I guess you
your
see
gas
people
is
getting
higher.
gas. Yeah. I was just gonna say because like when gas was low enough to travel, they would travel to the States to get gas. But
Your whiskey's higher.
yeah, they probably aren't coming
Uh,
over as much, eh? 'Cause-
yeah, groceries. Oh yeah, dude. I made a video a few years before the COVID outbreak. I
Mhm.
literally made a video and saying, look at all the Canadians coming over here, displaying they're buying gas because it's cheaper. Your cigarettes are you come over, they're cheaper over here, you know, and you don't pay taxes if you can hide them back and just sneak them across back the river.
Well, you're
But
also allowed a certain amount. I think. Yeah, they have a.
yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to bring back a certain amount before
Oh yeah,
you're
we don't
taxed
have
on it.
coolers and shit, man.
Yeah,
They
like you're
just
allowed
watch
like
they
a
put their
carton of
meat and
smokes and a bottle of booze. Basically, is what it is. You're allowed to get that. What is it? Um, what's the term for it? Not tariff. What's the term? Tax free. It's tax free, basically, but I can't
I
remember.
always go over to Bridge. They say, "You got anything to Clarence?" I got an open pack of cigarettes. I freak out, man. You want them?
Halfway. Yeah, man. No, it's see, I'm here in British Columbia where I live. I'm nowhere near the border. We're kind of like a tourist, like a destination, I guess you could say. Like half the year, it's nothing but tourists here in Kelowna. It's almost annoying at times, but a lot of people from out of town. But I'm just happen to be closer to the downtown area for the last few years, so like I kind of see a lot of that, and they always have events and all kinds of shit going on downtown. And now, man, they even shut down the homeless shelter. Like you have to go there by appointments. You have to set things up in advance. Like since the COVID thing, yeah, they used to have like the free dinners for the community and shit like that. They stopped all of that. They had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and like it's weird because
So what do the homeless people do now?
it's a great question. There's a lot of faces I don't see around when I'm out and about with my dog. There's just,
Well, I think a lot of them just came over here in my town. Because there's a lot of new ones showing up, and I don't know where they're coming from. Damn, you just open back up your shelter, man.
it's funny because like people are migratory, they move, like so they'll move and try a place out until it doesn't work for them anymore. That's the norm. I'm nomadic that way. Like I always move from city to city. I get bored of a place, I would move. I kind
I
of
hear you.
I kind of stopped doing that because I'm getting a bit long in the tooth for that kind of shit now. It's
Well,
nice to have a home base, but
I noticed, Robert, that being honest, man, we get on the homeless thing. I noticed, and being honest here, man, of recently, a lot more homeless people, man, that I ain't never seen before, man.
I'm back. My phone died.
we
Charging it
we
now.
figured as much. Hang
Yeah.
on. I'll move my my head out of the way here. Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about prices of things have gone up, and what's funny though is that our dollars have fluctuated. Like they've gotten closer together. Like ours has gone up as yours goes down a bit. So as it kind of flattens out a bit, I think
Ours go down what?
well, as soon as you guys went to like standby, basically, you didn't go to war yet, but like you started moving troops around. The dollar started to kind of fluctuate a little bit, and I think it went down for us a bit. I gotta check it.
Oil controls the money.
Well, whatever. I don't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that the actual value and whatever the value changed. I don't know what caused it.
Well, you guys sit on pretty good oil sources, man.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
you?
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
I
And
think.
you guys frack whatever it is.
Yeah. I think we have the second largest reserve in the world. Actually, second or third or something. Anyway, it's
You
a.
get some kind of like sand.
Yeah,
oil
but
frack.
the oil sands. Yeah.
It's pretty big too, man.
Yeah, the oil sands are huge. It's just that it's so dirty, right? And that's where they have to do all the.
Process.
They got to do all the frack. Yeah, the fracking and the processing is what is the dirty part. But It's like getting oil out of sand. If you've ever tried to do that, it's fucking horrible.
Well, I'm surprised you guys are pretty open to such.
Well, remember I was saying
Global
before.
warming and shit. Shame on you,
Yeah. That's not global warming anymore. It's climate change. Come on, get it together.
It depends on the season, bro.
Right? Whatever's
It's
convenient.
global warming in the summer and it's climate change in the winter.
I just think how they cover their asses when they say climate change. I don't know what it's changing to, if it's going colder or warmer, but it's just changing. That's for damn sure.
Well,
Mhm.
let's not do any research and see that history's fluctuated its whole life, man, from
Yeah.
cold to
And
hot to wet to dry.
cycles that are like longer than we can even fathom, because like we, like 100-year-long cycles, things like that are taking place. That, oh yeah, no, it's just, I don't think it's not us, but it's definitely not just us. You know what I mean? Like there's natural processes that are taking place too. Like it's we're all it's all in it together.
It could take only 3 major volcanoes going off around the
Yeah.
world, man, at the same time and cause a nuclear. And so,
Yep. Agree.
like you were talking about earlier, any given thing,
Yeah.
as long as it ain't man-made. Here's with this corona, shouldn't say that word, but kind of a blessing because it was created in a lab. There's no question about it. And it did escape accidentally. There's no question about that. But thank God it escaped when it did, because they weren't done working on it, man. Think if they were done working on it and got it to even be more deadlier and then let it go.
Well, look how long it took them to get the variants out.
Well, dude, how are you gonna sit there and when they spiced HIV and Ebola, just two of the things they spiced to the virus, and not that you catch HIV or Ebola, but I call it tentacles and shit, man. The little spikes there, it's easier to catch, and not that you show them signs from HIV or Ebola, but this just makes it easier for you to catch the coronavirus.
Yeah.
But now scientific proof is showing up that people are showing positive readings for HIV.
Right.
And, you ain't positive for it, but they're showing positive readings for HIV. That's because after they got the vaccine, which was laced with the HIV fucking shit that they put in it, that's why people are getting positive readings from HIV. And think they ain't even come up with the Ebola part of all this shit yet, and whatever else they were doing. And then just think they weren't done with it yet.
Well, guess what? A new one just hit the headlines earlier yesterday or today, and it's another avian flu. It's like H5N6 or something. Man. Yeah, is it swine flu? Yeah, it's like an H5N6 or something like that. It's like,
all the swans down here, man, in St. Clair are fucking dead, man.
Yeah, I bet they've killed a lot of the stuff.
Shit. Yeah, I ain't took another ride down. I was gonna film it and shit, man.
I heard a weird report come out of Canada. I'd say a few months back anyway, and I don't even know how valid it is. I can't, but I was reading about it, and it was a deer that had been found and had COVID. It was like somebody had shot a deer, and apparently the deer had COVID. Like, I mean, I think they're gonna go after hunting stock next. Like they'll find reasons to cull like the wild herds. You know what I mean? So that they can't be a food source. I think they're gonna go after the wild herds next.
Well, you watch a lot of people that had animals, man, especially at a certain age, and people that contacted COVID and shit. You notice that their animals, man, ain't around either. So I mean, I did some research on that it was happening that animals were catching and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you know that in some parts of the UK, people were instructed to kill their pets?
I think ain't it China doing that right? We're debating on it.
China, I think, was also doing this too. I think they were actually summarily going through neighborhoods and killing people's pets. Though I think
that broke today or yesterday, man. China's was debating on telling their people to kill all their pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so yeah, and I covered this when COVID was first coming out because I know to be truthful with you, man. The reason I was doing the research because my dogs got sick when I got sick, man. And matter of fact, 2 of my dogs passed away. The youngest one survived.
Oh, that's too bad. Sorry to hear that.
What it is. Anyway, yeah, and that's when I started doing. Well, it's a good thing because I did my research, man, and I started finding out, man. I was going to a lot of different sites and shit, and yeah, but it wasn't being discussed openly.
My dog's right here. She's like, I like Captain Crunch too. I want some Captain Crunch.
I don't know. Mine's passed out somewhere.
What are you doing,
You
dog?
made it to COVID. Now you're getting old now.
Yeah, yeah. Mine's 7 this year, so it's she's starting to get She's gonna pass me soon in dog years. But yeah, man. Wow, what a shitstorm of shit, eh? Since we last talked. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been quite a few years of fucking, and we ain't done with it yet, dude.
no, at
We
least
ain't done with
we're
it.
still standing. Again, some of us never made it, but yeah, man.
Where's database from?
He's
I'm
from
in
the old.
California.
He used to
I'm
be,
from California, but I'm in Nevada now.
Oh, cool.
and also from the old days of our podcasting. He was Fear and Propaganda. Do you remember
Oh
that
yeah, I
name?
was Fear Porn Propaganda.
Ah, what part of California?
Sacramento.
I lived out in Long Beach, Downey, Redwood.
Currently, I'm in Las Vegas.
Never been there.
Me neither. Before I ended up here.
Been to Reno.
Yeah, if you didn't know, he does cosplay, and these like got a pretty cool little 80s like retro bar where they have all the different characters from different 80s retro movies and stuff.
Oh,
So it's
really?
like
I'll
like
check it out,
a
man.
pop culture kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, everything 80s. We got like 2 sections. Like one's like a diner type of thing, and the other side is more of a bar. And they intertwine with all the 80s retro stuff, and it's all original because they're all from collected items from the 80s.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Pretty
man.
cool decor and stuff, and 80s music playing in the background.
Hmm.
We got like an 80s movie playing on the projector screen
Wow.
in the bar area.
The 80s, man.
On Saturday nights, we turned it into an 80s nightclub.
It's a hell of a time to grow up, man. That was the 80s were fun.
Yeah, the times when we could actually like go out and have fun
Yeah,
and like be kids and
yeah.
do
Be
shit
kids,
and not even have to tell your parents.
climb trees, and fucking
Drive around with a keg of beer in the back seat and shit.
shoot firecrackers at each other.
One of these days, we should just tell our 80s stories.
Played lawn darts. Like, have you seen a lawn dart in over 20 years? Come on.
just throwing rocks at each other across the tracks.
Don't do that. You'll get taken inside real fast these days.
Oh, if you have a
I know,
chestnut,
right?
if you're gonna have a chestnut
Can't do
battle
that
like
anymore.
if you're gonna have a chestnut battle like when you were a kid and shit, man, you'd be racist as all hell, man. You know?
You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if you heard
our
it.
generations, like between our generations here, there's probably a 10-year gap between each of us here, roughly. 5 or 10, whatever the case may be. But it's funny because it was us that got we did away with the racism, like as a systemic social issue. Like it was done by the time we got old, and we didn't care. Like it just was a non-issue, really. And until it became the
Everybody
systemic.
just hung out with everybody.
Yeah, it was like down to if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't care about the rest of you. As long as you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. That was kind of we learned to sense a mutual respect growing up because we just realized everybody else is in the same damn predicament as us. I mean, this is X generation. Like you're at the front end of X generation, Ben. I'm at the middle range, and Gematria here. You're at the tail end of X generation loop.
Definitely.
And we were the ones who gave a fuck by not giving a fuck. We came up with that. We designed the principle. And it's weird watching it get ripped away from us. And You know,
that's like that's a fighting example. That's like you playing dodgeball and shit, man.
yeah,
I'm going to
get
my
rid of this.
safe place, man. No,
Oh,
You
I'm
yeah.
get
going
rid
to
of
my
that.
safe place, man.
Yeah,
you know.
and you knew that if you're easy catching, you're getting hit first. Like you go for the the low hanging fruit. That was kill or be killed in dodgeball.
We messed up. You should get to Disney here, man. We messed up by giving every kid a trophy,
Yep.
win or lose. No, you fucking lost, man. Try harder, man.
Yeah,
Son.
that's right.
Try harder, man. Look what they got. They got a trophy in there. And guess what? They're going out to eat dinner too, man.
Yeah,
No, we give it. Serious. The values in life, man, was you know, what do you think about Disney, dude? I mean, honestly, dude, it's a grooming. I don't care what they say, man.
Yeah.
It's a grooming fucking field, man.
I think so. I think you're right. Um, yeah, I don't know what they're like. It's. I think internally, there's probably a lot more going on under the hood. Like, there's probably groups inside of Disney that aren't for that. That are either unaware or outside of the loop. But there's definitely grooming taking place at Disney, and it has been for a century. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, let me put it politically correct in, man. For
Yeah.
Disney CEO, why don't he fly up over there to all them other countries that they got an investment in, where they don't allow people to be gay, which they murder these people. They don't allow people to have rights. They don't allow women to have rights.
Yeah.
Why don't the CEO of Disney go over there and say, you know what, man? So you guys change your ways. And, no, he don't do that. You know why? Well, why would you do that here in the United States of America?
Well, instead we
See
bring
what
in
I mean?
instead we bring in people like Soros and like other philanthropists.
Well, look at the point, Robert.
Yeah, no, I am.
Disney's doing business with all these countries over there, man. Saudi Arabia, you name it, and shit. And yet they murder people who are gay.
Yeah.
But they're not saying nothing to them countries.
Yeah. Well, I get exactly what you're saying, and I'm saying it's even
And
worse.
and the bill don't say nothing in the bill says don't say gay. Not a freaking part in the bill does it ever say don't say the word gay.
I know. It's about just talking about sex in general and in any way. Yeah. It's again, it's a lot of gaslighting going on, right? They're getting people to react to it, and I was just talking about this with Gematria there earlier before the show, and it's like these attempts at gaslighting people get people arguing about a point that has nothing to do with the underlying issue. You know what I mean? It's like it was like what happened with that transatlantic fight. I always use that as an example because instead of arguing about the event itself, they end up arguing over whether or not a tree went through a fucking wing and it was digital artifacting versus not digital. And it's like, you guys are arguing over a fucking point that has nothing to do with what's actually taking place here. You know what I mean? Like, get off.
Or whether people died when it went into the water, if there was people that died or not. That was an argument too.
Well, that was what started it. But the thing was, is it ended up being over wing and digital compression and camera technology. And it's like, okay, first off, none of you know anything about camera technology, so shut the hell up and look at both sides, whether it's true or not true, and look at who would benefit from the whole
but
thing.
It totally worked. It
got them
totally
to argue
took
about
apart the truth community that existed at the time. It separated
that unhinged
people.
everybody. I didn't see any. I don't think I saw that much division in our group any other time than that one moment. Because then obviously, if you followed, so and so, I'm not going to say their names, so I don't want to, bring any disrespect to anybody. But if you didn't follow one person when they cut out, then you're on the other person's side, and then it's about picking sides, and it's like, come on, man, like a minute ago I was just friends with both of you, and like I'm not picking sides, like
You can't have an opinion either.
Yeah, well,
not your own opinion. You gotta have one of their opinion.
Well, that's where we are now, and
right. If you're not on one, then you're on the other. It's like
that's right, yeah. And now, like, opinions are completely
can't you just be neutral. You can't be neutral apparently.
Well, you can't disagree anymore, really, either, I guess.
No, canceled.
No,
You're
no.
canceled. It's like,
Right.
you
I
know,
remember we used to talk about that back in the day,
yeah.
whether or not there was going to be a time like that
And you
where
know,
we weren't going to be able to say certain things.
yeah. And while
Well,
Disney's out doing what you were talking about there, Ben, you also got these other groups that come in and fill in the gaps in the education system with things like, critical race theory. You got, and these are all George Soros Foundation,
well,
like key
good
points.
example. You're a good example, Robert. And you're right. And people got to understand that school systems are a socialist platform,
Yes.
okay, and funded by the likes of Soros, Bill Gates. Can't forget Bill Gates either, man.
Yeah. Look, if it doesn't have a socialist platform, let's say like the local neighborhood paying for the school, someone's going to come in and pay for it. And you know what it's going to be? It's going to be people who benefit from grooming your children for the next generation of work. It's that simple. And
Well, Zorro's job. See that you
oh,
got to remember there's players. Zorro's job
yeah,
is our politics side of judges and mayors and the likes of that, man.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
and
you know,
also social identity. He has a lot to do with social identity, like the whole Black Lives Matter
yeah,
and
he
and
fun. Yeah,
and
sure, he fun. Yeah, he
Antifa.
Mhm.
funny. Yeah, but you got. That's what I say. You got to look at the big picture of socialism being
Yeah.
out, bro. You know, um, I fuck socialism, bro. Fuck communism,
Well,
man. I don't give a shit, man.
it's diabolical. Like it's quite genius, like evil genius. I mean, like where they create a group like Black Lives Matter, and it's like, well, I'm not for that group. It's like, well, then you don't think Black Lives Matter, then do you? Like it's a complete. Like nobody wants to be that guy who you know what I mean, or that girl. Nobody wants to be that person like that disagrees with something that absolutely makes sense. But that's where they take advantage of the people that get indoctrinated with whatever it is they're saying. Because then it comes after that, if they've already accepted it. Well, you know, the door is open for manipulation. It's sad, and then they
Well,
buy into it.
let me tell you, in a few years, 20% of America be illegal aliens, not documented illegal aliens. 20%, and this is how they played this out. They took them from all the socialist dictatorship from down south and Central American shit, which was really bad and shit, man. Where it really didn't work and shit because people that they were controlled dictators and shit would keep the money for themselves, the card trail and shit, blah blah blah.
Mm.
But they now they bust them here to the United States of America, where socialism looks a little bit better, man. Because it's look at it, it's more better. You were no dictators taking your money. Look at boom boom boom. And,
I,
and,
I,
and
I,
that was the
I
game.
kind of want to come across the border to your side right now. Okay, I'm
Come
just
on,
telling
it's
you.
open. The south of border is open too, bro.
Oh, I'm so tempted. I'm not far from a Soyuz, which is pretty much on the border, and that would put me in. I guess I'll put.
We'll give you a free iPhone when you get here.
Mine's international phone actually. It would work, but
We're gonna use it to track you though. That's what they
nah,
say. Well, see, the first phones they gave out to the poor society, man, the low income people and shit was called
yeah,
the track phone, and it was called a track phone for a reason.
that's
You know,
hilarious.
yeah, it's true. I don't.
Because they gave them out
That
to
was
the homeless here too. They had a program. They gave out like 400 phones here in the city. I think last year to the homeless.
well, there's a program, see, because in order to enslave and to brainwash the population, you have to reach the population, and a
Yeah,
lot of these people didn't have phones and computers. That's why they're always talking about free
yeah,
internet access and shit, man.
yeah.
And once you get them engaged, then you can brainwash them and shit, man, even more and take more control of their lives,
Well,
man.
and it's not
You know,
just that. Like like you're saying, it's a tracking system. So like everyone's like arguing again, like I was saying, like arguing a different point. Like, well, I'm not going to get a chip put in me. Hang on, let me check my Facebook. It's like,
yeah.
wait
How
a
many
minute.
chip? Yeah, wait a minute.
You don't
I got
you
a
don't
chip on my computer.
you don't need a chip in
Hello.
you because you're always going to it, volunteering your data right there. Like
Right. Hey, look, I can open up my phone with my face recognition, right? Oh,
and my
look, I can
fingerprint.
use my thumb. Yeah, I ain't getting the mark of the beast. Oh, okay. Hello.
Oh, get out.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah,
Robert. Hey, we agree, man.
yeah, man. No, it's we knew that was coming. We did that a long time ago, though. That was like it's almost like that's like entry level truther. Back in the days, like, oh yeah, we could see that kind of coming. Like the phones were probably just getting really good, like as smartphones anyway. Around the time that we met, about 10 years ago almost. So, 'cause I remember I still had a clamshell phone in those days, like one of those foldy flip ones.
Yeah, I kind of wish I still had one.
Apparently, they work again because the CDMA network, is being used again by a couple different companies. Because it's just a frequency range that stopped getting used. So I think they're using it for just like talk and text or something like that. You probably find it cheap, and they can use those older phones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny, the amount of 20%, man. That's just me. That's 20% of people think that socialism's good here.
Yeah.
It collapses on itself, dude. I don't know really any country that socialism's ever worked at for the people, man. Sorry.
Sorry, the dog was bugging. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, good, bad. I consider myself an anarchist, and that's only because I don't see a better alternative at the moment. And there's definitely
Well,
no
let me
decent
ask you
choices.
this: what you think your president did to the truckers and how hard they went after them and shit financially? You think that was right?
No, I don't think he was right at all. That's why I don't. That's why I would never vote for him. I would never vote for any of the other because nobody else came to their defense. And then, like, are you telling me that decision got greenlit and nobody stood in the way of it? That tells me we got nobody on our side in our parliament. That's what that tells me.
What push? Because look, bro, I'm 58 years old, man, and many other moons to go along with that. And I've been part of you for my family, man, as Canadians for my whole life, and I remember my brothers and sisters over there, dude, and I don't remember the time that you guys turned so far left towards socialism.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're all the way there now.
Right, I know. Can you explain to me what started that? Do you know what started that push? Was it your school systems? What was it, man?
Well, I don't think the school systems helped matters much. If whatever system was in place, obviously those systems would be reinforced into the by the school system. So that goes hand in hand there. What happened? I wish I knew. I wish I could give you a serious answer. All I know is what has happened recently. I think my own ignorance is because of my cynicism towards politics. And I think a lot of Canadians right now, especially Gen Xers, are to blame for not being more involved. I think if we were more involved in the political system and at our local levels, I think we wouldn't have let those other idiots, the psychopaths, in to do the work we didn't want to do. I think we abdicated ourselves of our own duty, and we're paying the price for it now.
Well, did you ever pay attention, to be honest, of the younger generation and what they were being taught in the school system?
Only when I was there. I don't have kids.
And
so.
that was a different time, to be honest, that was a different time. I'm sure when you're in, let's say, high school, you were taught the basics, man.
There were lines that weren't being crossed for sure.
Same here,
Yeah, there's lines that weren't being crossed in those days. Maybe some should have been blurrier, but I think we progress in a good way, but not lately. Like what's happened lately is a major transformation. It's a takeover. It's just like that Russian guy, that defector, the KGB guy that came over, Yuri something or other, how he said it only takes one generation to destabilize and demoralize a nation. And you go after the children. You break up the family unit, and then you empower them with faulty logic. And this is what's been happening. Exactly like he spelled it out. It's happened. Like it's taken place, and the ironic part of that is that he wasn't talking about us now. He was talking
See-
about what the
see-
KGB was trying to do in Arab nations in those days.
Yeah, see, we're kind of at our age, we're kind of sitting here. We're seeing the younger generation being not used, man. I mean, they are being used, but brainwashed, not whatever you want to call it, shit, man. It's we're seeing it through this, through the school systems, and now the social platforms are being, really heavily used to promote this socialism here in the United States.
Yeah.
Even our mainstream news is popularizing social media by just every day when it comes out of their mouth. They may not say socialism, in their conversation, but what they're promoting by their news coverage is socialism, because it's one-sided and it's being controlled, where it's not open, free press, freedom of speech in the news, because you should, everybody should have the freedom of speech, man, and it's being implemented to our mainstream news, now that's the next bigger step in the platforms, man. But yeah, we're able to see it, man, but damn if we're going to be able to stop it. I don't think, man.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's like we're gonna witness it, maybe become part of it, but we're not gonna stop shit.
Nah, I'm too fucking old anyway, bro. No, I mean,
Well, and
really,
it's funny because, like I was saying, I was kind of joking, but I was serious at the same time. That earlier, when I was saying that we are the generation of like watching things happen, like, like we kind of like watch things carry out, and I guess you could say we've seen a lot of things carry out, and like
Well, you see,
when it
you've
feels
seen the rest
wrong.
of Zardoz now, right? So,
No, I
so
have-
you know about the apathetic.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I didn't.
Oh, god damn it! You need to watch the rest
I
of
know,
that. So
I
I
gotta
can
watch
tell
the
you
rest.
about it so we can compare.
I just don't
the
know how many.
apathetics,
I just
because
don't know how many
I
times
think
could.
that's where it's going.
I don't. I don't know how many
I think
times
they
I
were
could.
prophetic on that. They were like on it, because
Look, I don't know
think
how many
about it.
times.
If you're just sitting there
Yeah.
with the VR machine or something like that instead of your phone, I mean, where are you going to go? Why would you go there? You wouldn't go anywhere. You would just sit there. So it's like, if you think about the apathetics, when you see them, they're just like really stone, like
Yeah,
in
I've seen the
statue
apathetics
form or whatever, because they just
They're
don't
about
care.
halfway through the film, yeah. But I just don't know how many times I can watch Sean Connery's crotch close up again. Like, it shows his crotch a lot.
I know it does. It's true. It's
It's like a 1970s. It's a 1970s like art film that had Sean Connery in it, and it's just not a lot of clothing. Let's just say.
Let's just say it's crazy.
Anyway, but yeah, it's
Anyway, you were saying.
it's a little bit of rape in there. It's a little bit of like, killing and a little bit of weird,
Like Clockwork Orange kind of shit.
yeah, weird dress choices. But yeah. Anyway, but what was I gonna say about? Yeah, we were the generation that kind of just watched things happen, but at the same time, like I don't know how many of us were raised by the TV, but
I was for sure.
like pop culture wise, like I was a pop culture kid, but I wasn't so much a TV kid. I was like, I watched shows that I wanted to watch, and I wasn't into things I wasn't into. So like, it's weird because I completely shut myself off of things like the news and what have you. That didn't come later, until much later in my life.
I'm weird. I never watched cartoons, man.
Yeah.
No, I never did, man.
Yeah, but I was also into art. I was a musician. I did a lot. I went through a lot of stages and like, different phases where I just did different shit on a creative level. What do you want, Maya? She's making noises, trying to get my attention. But yeah, I mean, it was yeah, she's being distracting too. But yeah, man, I'm just thinking back and looking through it, and like it's almost like a lifetime ago when I was in school, and I look at what kids are dealing with, like in terms of like social media, the amount of input that they're taking in, the amount of external like flux. Like there's like, you could throw a stone, it'll end up in an argument with somebody. know what I mean? Like about a
Well,
different thing.
what's database? What's like the there? I mean, what's it's how's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. The you know,
Neither do I.
no, like the people that are they different, man? Are is things changing there where you're at?
In
For
Vegas?
yeah,
Oh, they didn't give a fuck here.
really, because it's just too much fucking get up and go, ain't it?
Well, I was gonna say because when people go to Vegas, they already are going to Vegas to get away from. It's usually an escape, like a you know what I mean? It's usually like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what I mean? That kind of a, a thing. So I imagine when COVID first really lifted, people just like let it all hang out and like just didn't give a fuck for
Yeah,
like
and a lot of people came to Vegas.
Yeah,
just
I imagine.
because it opened earlier.
Mm. Oh, you
I
know
mean, we still had to
they set
we
that
still
up.
had to mask. We still had to mask indoors and stuff like that for a while. But
Mm.
then they stopped that. Like, so it's just been like fuck it. And
And-
there's still some locations, I think. No, I don't even think any. I haven't seen any locations since it's been lifted. But like, I went to California and it's still going on over there.
Yeah. Here in
It's crazy.
BC, like in Kelowna anyway, I'm not sure if the other cities have different rules, but it's
It's
kind
like
of
they're
like,
living in denial.
well,
You know what
I
I'm
still
saying?
see people in their cars wearing them, but it's not mandated now.
He said living down. There ain't nobody wearing them here in Michigan either, man.
Yeah. No,
They
but they're
really
I
couldn't
mean,
give a shit.
I understand my partner's position, like why he does when he does or whatever, and he's kind of like has this like you know thing about not being around people, whatever, and it's all that psychosis because you know in his mind he caught it, the doctors told him he had it, whatever, and the whole thing with him working with old people, he doesn't want to kill his old people, so so it's like so I can understand that
it's like
position.
it's the same thing
But
with the flu. You know,
it's become a whole thing.
yeah, I
It's
know.
become a whole thing, like you
They
know,
they
and
magnified.
I, in the end, put it, you know, turn it towards the foghorn leghorn, you know, needle crafting thing.
You know, it's funny. They taken the fucking common flu and turned it into a life-threatening ordeal that needs to shut down an entire planet. I mean, the survival rate's 99.9%. No matter how you cut it, whoever's dying, it's 99.9% is the survival rate. I mean, the flu has more fatalities than that. Like,
Hey, Database, you do any live feeds when you're with the music and shit?
When you, oh no, we seldom have music. It's like few and far between. Like there's going to be one on the 21st, I believe, but it's really different live entertainment with like you know 80s style things, and then it's like fluctuated throughout time. Like you know we've had like a Michael Jackson look like, you know, a couple of those actually. We've had like a George Michael, a Madonna, you know, like Billy Idol, Freddie Mercury.
Well, that'd been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I do George McFly, but I also am like have become a TikToker. I'm not actually a TikToker, but I play one on TV. You know.
play one on TikTok.
Yeah, but I like you know act out the whatever the things from Back to the Future as George McFly. I'll like lip dub the words, try to like make a match and all that for like the viewers, and that's just like basically to get people to come to our restaurant. But it's become its own thing over time, and
You
now
cook
I'm
too?
like trying to follow up with it. It's crazy. What?
You cook too?
Do I cook? No.
No, you gotta
Oh, I
cook.
do know how to cook. I learned how to cook at work. Yeah, I if you mean like a cook at work, I'm general manager, so I know all of it.
Yeah, that's what I used to do
So
for a living, man.
I could cook, I could register, I could bar, and whatever.
Yeah,
whatever's necessary. Clean, I'm mostly cleaning. I'm like a custodian. Go clean the bathrooms, go clean the floors.
yeah. I started off for Elias Brothers and Corporations. As a matter of fact, out in California, man.
Fuzzy
I
onesie.
started off as man cleaning, worked my way up the dishwasher, and worked my way up to the cook, and
Right?
yeah,
Mhm. I don't have to do the dishwashing anymore.
yeah.
I
Thank, I
used to.
know, thank God.
So, yeah. Every once in a while, like a lot, it'll come back to me,
I gotta let this old
but
dog out, man.
not usually.
Come on, I see you.
Usually the other
Come on.
employees
The
do it.
dog's me bugging. Hi, puppy dog. You know, dogs are smart, but they still can't fetch me a beverage.
Well, some can. You just have to train them.
Well, I
Train them.
don't know.
Train them.
I don't know how.
Andy or whatever.
I don't know how I feel
Have
about putting the
low.
teeth that close to a can. You know.
Sorry about
Well,
that.
there we go. Yeah. Yeah, because you're probably gonna have a lot of them messed up before you get a good one.
If she were to fetch me a beverage for me, she would puncture them by accident every time and then drink all of it because she's a little hound. Aren't you? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Did I knock that over? Here, let me get that for you.
You smoke weed, database?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Do.
The one night he comes on the show and I don't know if he even realized, he didn't even ask if he was live or not. He just started talking about his face. It was great. We were going, remember that? You're like, yeah,
I waited a
I
long
was going.
my
I
I
was
waited a
going
face.
long
off.
time for it to be legal here and
I was
shit.
like,
Now you
I was
hold it
all,
up.
just my face goes like this, or like I was like, I was going off about like reactions.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, do you want me to react like this? Do you want to react like this?
You just,
I was just going. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
and we're live.
And we're live.
It was funny.
Oh, when it was illegal here in Michigan, I fucking tried to do an hour long shit and not smoking shit. I was like, damn, man. Now it's live and shit. I don't hold it up, man.
Hey. Yeah. So it's what it is, man. It's legal there now, isn't it? Or legalized, or is it decriminalized?
Legal here.
It's legal there. That's what I thought. Yeah, I was pretty sure.
Legal in Canada too, right?
Yeah, but you know what though? It had a
Regulated.
it had a bad effect on the whole thing because like it was better when it was decriminalized because all the dispensaries now they're all shut down. All of our dispensaries are shut down. Only government sanctioned dispensaries are opened. It's bad. Oh, I think he's gonna get his puppy dog.
The dispensaries in Vegas are like rampant. It's pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I have to know which ones to go to because otherwise I'll end up going to like just this rando one and whatever.
Right.
And you get taken real easily.
I got a new subscriber.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Fuzzy Onesie subscribe to me on YouTube. Thank you, Fuzzy Onesie. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's the Daily Noonerino with myself and friends here. And Ben Time Travelers come in for a visit. As like the rest of us, were lost in time and space. Does he have his headphones back? Yeah, he does. Cheers, mate.
I got beer too, but it's a root beer.
Root beer. That's all good.
Root beer is my fave. Well, not my fave. Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Grab the wrong one.
I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've got my I got what's left of my my weed here. It's funny because like BC was a place. It was always a big weed place to begin with, so it wasn't much of a transition because it became legal while I was living here. But oddly, when I was living in Mexico, it was like ultra illegal, like in Mexico, like completely illegal, like you're doing time for possession illegal. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was really frowned upon. And one of the hardest parts, I'm going to come out with some of this information soon. I've kept a lot of it confidential, out of respect for some practices that we're helping patients and what have you. But I think times are kind of changing, and it's going to allow me to tell some of the story. And it's like, people using CBD for treatments out in Mexico, and like in places, controlled environments where it was working, and stuff like that. And it was just amazing to see. Like, and yeah, like I said, like I couldn't responsibly tell the story and not get people in trouble, so I kept it to myself. But it's one of those things, I guess.
Well, legal and marijuana, we get talking into signs of the push towards socialism.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, man. They
Yeah.
legalize marijuana, and it's a push towards the socialist agenda, man.
Well,
I hate to say it because I smoke marijuana, but
you
it's
just
true.
left, as I was saying. You just took the headphones off as I was saying that. Once those when they legalized it, all the dispensaries went down. They went out of business, and
Yeah.
they because they had to get government approved licensing, and then they had to get like certain modifications made and like other registrations, and it just turned into
in database in Nevada. You guys doing mushrooms?
I mean, people do. I haven't come across them here yet. Generally,
they're making a push to legalize it out there. I
that
think.
seems like real big in California, though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
California, it's like
it's
popped up
becoming that
several
way here.
times.
It's becoming that way here in Michigan. I don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're doing a lot of research
Well,
on it.
it's like it's more about microdosing these
Yeah.
days
Yeah, that's true.
for health purposes.
Yeah, they're
I
saying
used to do it just to trip out, but like,
Yeah.
apparently it's for
Well,
health.
but that same trip out though is what sometimes a mind that's starting to get dissociative it's good for, that because that unlocking kind of taps into another area of thought that normally would be hindered, because what they do is they treat the symptoms, right? And they treat the symptoms, just make the person stoned out of their fucking mind and antisocial. You know what I mean? And then it doesn't really help. I'm not talking about weed. I'm just talking about things like Prozac. Just you get that friggin'
Oh, for
fluoride,
sure.
that fluoride stare, and
Well, I haven't done shrooms in a minute because the last time that I downloaded myself, the other me told me that this should be your last time. Like it was like negotiation. It's like, okay, you're good. You don't need to do this again.
yeah, it's weird, eh? Like there's certain times when it kind of calls for itself. Like I don't know if that makes any sense, but like it's you feel satisfied with what you come back from the trip with. I found. I remember one time I tried LSD, and I didn't try it. I did it on a fairly regular basis. But I had this one particular trip where when I came back, something was different, and it was like I lost my keys. Like, or you think you put something somewhere. It's not there. You can't put your finger on what it is, and felt like that for a while. And it was weird because like all it took was another trip back. And it was like I found my keys. It's like, okay, here they are, got them. Like,
There they are.
yeah, there it is. And then and I came back and it was fine again. It was so weird though because there was like a kind of a mental switch of sorts, like something was messing with my internals, if you would. And when I came out of it, I must have come out of the trip at the wrong time, or something pulled me out of it, or I overdid the mind game part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you turn the Rubik's Cube too many times and you're trying to make a pattern, and then it's like, oh, now I just got it fucked up the cube. It's like, how do I get it back to that?
Right.
Might as well solve the thing again. But
Exactly.
yeah, it was that kind of a thing. And it was weird because when I went back in, it didn't take long at all. Like, it was literally the length of the experience, and I came back, I was like, oh, wow, okay. That's good. And like you said, I was like, I don't need to do that again. Like, I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't need to go back there now. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, so since then I haven't really felt the need, even though I've had like shrooms, like given to me or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Like I have some,
mushrooms
and
are
I just
definitely a
haven't
different
taken
one.
them.
It's a different trip I find with the mushrooms. Like the psychedelicness is a very more.
Oh, I have acid too that I haven't taken, but like for different purposes.
Is it acid?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Don't
mescaline,
mail it to my address. No, I'm just joking.
right.
window pane, royals, lemons.
That's the old time.
Huh?
That's the good. You've experienced the really good acid, I'm sure. I've only
Mescaline.
experienced
Oh man.
Well, to get stuck in time
the
traveling. I mean,
after,
Ben must
Tab
have.
the
T was
after,
Tab T
you
was the
know,
kicker too, man.
I was
You
just
know?
kind of in the
I was gonna say
90s
Ben
where
must
I
have
experienced.
had some bits in the past to get stuck in time. Come on.
One time I got some four wall that was from the 70s,
I
and that
thought,
like took me like on a trip that I'll never forget. And it was just a little piece.
I remember when I remember that mescaline come out double dome, and I remember the window pane coming out, shit, Tab T and shit, Royals. It was a good time, you know. It really
Mm-mm.
was. I only had one bad trip, man. You know,
Yeah.
and
I,
yeah, it was a freaky one too, man.
I didn't have
You didn't have the brown acid.
I
yeah,
had
brown strawberry.
I had some
Yeah.
strange trips. I had one. I can't consider it bad. It wasn't really. I didn't freak
I
out.
like the double dome strawberry the
Yeah.
best.
Oh man.
Mm.
I remember having one where things kind of got a little bit intense, and it, it 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 was one of those things where it's like, okay, you want to fight it, and then there's a point where you're just like, oh fuck it. You just let go. I'm gonna go through this thing,
Yeah,
man.
you can't
Yeah.
you can't
I
fight
See,
it at some point.
mescaline. I never had a bad effect on mescaline. I just laughed my
Yeah.
ass off about stupid shit. You know, take me an hour to cross the street. You know,
I've never
you
tried
know.
that.
But yeah,
Not me
never off
neither.
mescaline.
That's generally what I hear people talk like. That's what people's memories are. They just remember laughing a lot. That's
Now Tab T, that was a different story, man. You had to be careful and shit, man. You know,
yeah. I never tried that either.
we wouldn't be talking
Which
about
one?
that shit 20 fucking years ago when we had.
Well, you know what's funny is that I think there's an age for a certain pharmaceutical, if you would. You know what I mean? Like a certain age. Like, and when I say age, I don't mean personal age. I mean age in a era, like a time period. Like 80s had its thing, 90s has its thing. You know, like it was all like, you know, Molly and E in in the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like each era kind of has its thing, and probably
Yeah,
just the
it's
same
true.
other
It's
things
like
just
drugs.
rehashed. Yeah. It's like everything else just gets kind of re-engineered slightly. It's like, how do we make, you know, this? How do we make this better? It's like better. What was it? What was the comedian? He's talking about
Yeah, how
crack.
can we get the THC level higher in our weed?
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's his
They
name?
got ways.
Well, I
fucking,
used to listen to like excerpts from Robert Anton Wilson. He used to go off about different reality basis with like levels, and it was all based on like LSD. It was trippy.
Well, it's funny because a lot of that's coming back for like DMT trips and stuff like that, and also ayahuasca. I would like to go down and see a shaman and do the whole. I would like to do that whole friggin'
You're gonna go
ritual.
be a shaman at the Capitol building. Is that
What?
you said?
I want to catch some salmon in the what? In the who? What's it? Yeah, the it's no salmon in the Mississippi. What do you want, dog? Oh, jeez, the dog's coming at me. That stuff. Have another. But yeah, man, no, it's I forget what the hell we're talking about now. Oh, yeah,
Weed
tripping.
and
We're talking about
Tripping, yeah,
That's
on
tripping balls.
acid.
Yeah, no, it was. I think like I said, each era had its time, like for certain things. I mean, like hashish was bigger than weed back when I was a younger man. And
yeah, you can layer it out, man.
Oh
you know,
yeah, hash, big time.
cocaine, and then you lay out, you know, to where we're at now with fentanyl.
yeah, it's all real. It's really pharmaceuticalized now. Like speed isn't even speed anymore. It's just all the other stuff. Kind of what do you call it? Distilled.
I liked it when the guy next door was making it. Yeah, I knew who he was, man. Yeah, this
Wow.
motherfucker over in China. I don't know him, man. You know, and then it gets to Mexico and shit. No, thank you, man.
Just wave every morning. Hey.
Hey, you wanted some mescaline? Yeah, I got fucking fentanyl in it. You ain't laughing now, are you?
Yeah, usually those neighbors aren't too boring. Man, we had there was next door down the street here, a couple houses down. We had a friggin' police standoff, armed gunmen in the house, friggin' police. So they're slowly, assembling the SWAT team and stuff. Took them 4 hours to get their stuff together, and we're like, "Come out of the house with your hands up." But he was gone 5 minutes after the cops arrived there, like 4 hours spent. It was a big production. It's like, oh, there's one here.
That's funny.
I know. I was fucking dying. Well,
hey, don't worry. The Mountie always get their man.
oh yeah, no, the police, they made a big production of it. They got all of the people out of the houses nearby that were awake. Like, okay, we're gonna be, guns drawn. It's gonna be, crazy. Might want to leave the residence. Maya and we sat outside in the goddamn cold 4 hours while these dimwits got their shit together to do a raid on the house, and yeah, they didn't get the guy. He was gone. There were other people there in the other units, but yeah. It's like,
You sure it wasn't a drill?
It wasn't a drill. No, because the guy two nights later, the guy who they were after was mad at whoever was the reason the cops were there and firebombed the house next door to that. And then the fire department was there. Yeah, that was crazy. It was a weird week. It was like, never a boring day on Harvey Avenue. Yeah. And it's a relatively small city. Like it's like the only reason we're an international city is because there's a lot of money here, like in orchards and lakefront. It's a huge lake here, all that kind of good stuff. And it's up in the mountains. Like we'd probably survive a nuclear winter because we're just high enough in a valley. We have our own atmosphere and ecosystem like in the valley.
Right.
Yeah, I think when we landed, I remember, I think we were at like 1,200 feet when we landed. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I was seeing like, I'd expect to see like sea level, like 0 feet, right? No, it's because we're in the mountains. Like, we're getting awfully close to the ground. It's yeah, it's fun coming here, man. The Rockies, man. The Rockies are just amazing to fly over and just to see like the massive stretch, like especially if you look south across the Rockies, it just goes on forever as far as the eye can see. Like it's just, it almost reminds me of a round Earth. Let's make some people mad. How's it going over there, Mr. Time Traveler?
I'm cool. Just checking up on some news, man.
Right on.
Oh, yeah. Bill Gates says another pandemic is coming, man.
Oh, let me set my watch.
Well, wait a minute. Last time he said this, man, it came fucking true with COVID, man. This guy's pretty good predictor, man.
Oh yeah, he said. Oh yeah, in 3 months.
Short.
He's like, in 3 months when the new variant is out.
And he funds those drill scenario, whatever you call them, that they do ahead of time just to see what might happen in their numbers.
I think we also
tabletop study.
Yeah, and I think we have to congratulate Mr. Gates for becoming the biggest owner of agricultural land in the world. Good going, Mr. Gates. Another thing you know nothing about.
Oh yeah, where you can take that. Where you can have his GMO fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and
you know
also
what?
The mosquitoes.
They started how they got the sea vault and shit, some pure seeds and shit. They started one for fucking GMO too, man.
You know what? I think it's all contaminated because anywhere that uses outside air is contaminated with GMO pollen. So the cross pollination would make all the other plants fucking GMO as well. And it's been so many years. I think everything's been contaminated. If it's not made from a seed that came from 10 years ago, it's probably contaminated.
Then the farmers have to buy in to get their seeds and everything anyway, so they have to get that's what they're growing is
Yeah.
Monsanto shit.
And then their neighbor right next door is going to grow the GMO stuff. It's just going to cross pollinate the next guy's shit. It's fucking horrible. And you know, pollen can stay up. It can get caught up in these updraft columns and get pulled into the upper atmosphere. Pollen can stay up there for 5-6 years, go across the planet, and then come down completely somewhere else. Now, if it comes in contact with something it's compatible with, there you go, cross pollination. So I mean, a lot of that could happen too, and does.
That sounds like it's more feasible.
Or these upwards columns, they can carry things that are light like that because the pollen can just hang around in the in the air, so light.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I literally filmed pollen and shit, man, in the sun to show a point, man. To some people, man. I think I got videos of it, man. If you catch it just right, man, it looks like it literally. You look at the pollen, it literally looks like medical particles and shit, man. But I'm not too sure. Maybe that might be coming from the so-called geoengineering up there. But yeah,
No.
It looks all silvery and goldish and shit, man.
There's no doubt that there's going to be lots of plastics, especially like microplastics or something that are going to be in an aerosol form as well. Different plastics have different characteristics, like some are lighter and airier than others. You know what I mean? So you break it down to these little nanoparticles, and that's just garbage. You know what I mean? That's not even anything that's been, that's removing everything else from the equation, like stuff that's been put there on purpose. And we don't, I bet you that's going to be different from region to region. Just like the pollen argument, when somebody's made something airborne, it can get caught up in these updrafts and get stuck up in the upper atmosphere for years and years before they come down again. And then who knows where they come down.
When a meteorite hit Earth, there's still shit up in the fucking atmosphere, man, from that day, dude.
Yeah,
Floating
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Some stuff ain't coming back down.
I also went out to California to a seminar by Dang Winnikin in there, and about geoengineering. And I studied this for a long time and shit, man. And I understand there's 3 different programs. One is for weather modification, one is for war, and I'll explain that part. And the other one is also for kind of seeding the earth, man, of fucking bad shit, man. That's why you talk about pollen and shit, man. But the second one, yeah, it's used for, it's not top secret shit I can talk about, man. If we were to, let's just say a nuclear bomb went off over the United States, knocked out our power grid and everything and shit, we couldn't communicate with our military, no how, no way, around the world because the world's round and shit, and our satellites ain't working for us to send them fucking signals around the world to communicate. But if we were spraying shit in the air, particles, shit, we can bounce a frequency off that and make it travel around the world, shit. That's no secret and shit, man. But yeah, and the first one, yeah, you getting the pollen and shit, man. You have to give thought when you see this shit happening and shit, and how it's spreading out and shit, man. That's basically, let's say, different things of seeds and pollen and whatnot and shit, man.
Absolutely. And it's on the flip side of that too, it's funny is that I was doing a bit of a rabbit hole journey there a few months back, looking at information they got from the ice core samples from Antarctica. Like, and some of these ice core samples go back like 40,000 years, and they're still only down, like at this point, they're only down to about the 20,000 year mark, like as far as analyzing it and seeing what was in the atmosphere and at that time, and what have you. But a lot of interesting cycles. Like there's a small part of it where there's like almost industrial level carbon that's built up over like this small period, as if there was another age of industry, like 13,000 years ago, which is kind of interesting. It's not saying that's what it is, but it's just saying
No, what pole shift? If you bring it this into the picture and shit, and you look at Antarctica and shit,
Hmm.
it wasn't always covered in ice.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
Right.
that that's what happened shit. So who knows, man?
Yeah. Well,
What's
I might.
advanced civilization
Yeah.
could have been living there at that time,
Well,
man.
yeah, and our geographic north and magnetic north, they're in the process of changing right now.
Oh yeah, if you do go look at the research right now, North is moving so far up Russia's ass right now, man. It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's and the magnetic north, like it's totally moving. Actually, I think it's flipped. It's turning south right now. Like
So,
it's
so and here's a theory, Buster. If that's happening, which I do believe too, you know what? They got to change the runway lights, man. Update them all the time, man, for airplanes and shit, man, to keep up.
Yeah.
GPS and shit, man. They got to change the fucking runway lights, man, for position and shit, man, because it's changing that much. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else, man.
No worries.
Damn it.
But most runways, the way they were laid out, they'd be laid down aligned either to like exact north and south, and like to 45-degree angles, like north by northwest or south. You know what I mean? They'd be on those kind of paths to be aligned with the pilot. You know what I mean? On the land. Like if they're flying, by compass and by sight alone, it's weird. Like I mean, I've done it in simulator. I've not flown a real plane, but I've been up in planes, and like the perspective of it is pretty cool, man. Like it's pretty intense. Like thinking in 3 dimensions, like in flying. It's
Well, they found one of them hairy mammals, man, with the fucking elephant looking things. Forget to call them, but they found it, and it
Mammoth,
had
woolly mammoth.
yeah, and it had food particles in its mouth that wasn't part of that region. That didn't grow there, but that animal was there. And the only thing they could put together was that the pole shift happened and it grew before, So yeah, it's happened over and over and over in history, man. And
yeah,
every time it's happened, it's always been a mass extinction too.
yeah. Well, and I guess you could say like they made a guesstimate anyway as to how long it would take for us to be completely consumed by nature, and they say about 10,000 years, probably a lot less. Like 5,000-6,000 years is all it would take to completely reclaim
Yeah,
everything that we are. You know what I mean? Everything
yeah,
else needs to be
everything just
yeah.
disappeared. Can you imagine everything? No,
Yeah.
no houses, no roads,
Maybe the tiniest
nothing.
little bits of plastic. That would be
Look at the jungles did and shit that quick in the fucking
Oh,
Maya and shit,
yeah.
man.
Well,
That was just in a short period of time.
well, it's funny. We've discovered actual bacteria that do eat plastic, like, and we've found how to selectively breed those. So, like, if there's bacteria that can eat plastic, even like, I mean, that just tells you right there something evolved to plastic. So, like, it didn't just happen because we showed up. You know what I mean?
I hope they
Yeah.
don't put that fucking shit in the next COVID outbreak, man. Fuck. That's all we need.
Well,
man.
I guess if there's no food available, let's say plastics, a species that ate plastic probably would go dormant. You know what I mean? Until microplastics presented themselves. Like maybe that's the trigger that brings a certain bacteria around. But I wonder how many other things are triggered in that way. Like when we're talking about big, long cycles, I don't want to make it sound dark and gloomy, but look, we're a tiny little ball of rock flying through space, and it's a very, 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 physical journey because it's a fine line between us surviving as a planet. Period. You know what I mean? Amidst,
It's just think about it, man. Like
yeah,
you just said, man, we're traveling through space and time with our sun and shit, man. And
yeah,
it's like, we're traveling through space and time outward, man. And
yeah.
it's
Ain't
not
slowing down. It's
no.
phew.
I wish we could stop this fucking planet from
Yeah.
spinning before we get the fuck off for a minute.
Pull
but
over.
no,
I
we
can
can't,
walk from
man.
here. That's right. I can walk right from here. Yeah, man. Oh, shit.
Now we're kind of now I think about it. I mean, freaking hurry up, Elon Musk.
Hey, Elon, come on. Help me, Elon. Help me, Elon. Someone should redo that song.
But I don't think it's possible for the human body, to tell you the truth, to be able to travel to Mars in the time and estimate, man. I don't think it's possible at all, man. I don't think the human body can handle it, man. Just think, some astronauts up there, man, are losing fingernails and shit for a short period of time, man.
Yeah, but I think that what information we learned from those lost fingernails and those bad Dale days is, you know, how to prevent preventative measures. Maybe we have to simulate gravity. We have to get better at something. You know what I mean? One of those aspects. That's all.
Cut the bitches off before you go up there.
It's funny. I have this funny suspicion. I have this really funny suspicion that we're gonna figure out warp travel. I don't know why. Something tells me in our lifetime we're gonna see something travel at warp, Star Trek warp speed. I think it's gonna happen.
Uh,
You know, if it's not happened already, I will say it. I'll get my tinfoil hat out and say that. Like, if it hasn't happened already.
well,
Right.
if you just take the expansion of man's features, the human features,
Mm-hmm.
and you were projected into the future, guess what, man? Pretty much look like a freaking alien, especially if you were traveling any means and shit. But yeah, my belief, man, we'll probably be alienoids, in half and half, and just like I believe that there's such thing as alienoids, half and half. But I
Yeah.
believe there's real. But I think that's probably our first aggressive step towards it, and then we'll learn from that and better
Mm-hmm.
protect ourselves. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think probably the future might just be half and half, man.
I think it would depend where we live, and I think that show, The Expanse, kind of demonstrates that a bit because, like, the people from Mars are like, they they're used to, like, 1/3 the gravity, so like they're just, they're weaker than Earthlings because Earthlings are dealing with like 3 times the gravity. You know what I mean? But and the people that work out in the belt, they're like frail and thin. In fact, the punishment to them is like to have them like basically walk around on Earth like they couldn't hold themselves up. They're like just like fucking jellyfish. You know what I mean? But it was kind of a realistic look at how there would be a weight differential depending on where you were living. So I imagine true weightlessness. Yeah, you'd be a jellyfish in a couple years. You know what I mean? If you didn't have any, maybe it's not a bad thing. Just don't go to any gravitational places. You know what I
And,
mean?
and
You'll
then
just be a
once you get there, man, you can't go out gather no sticks to build a house. Sorry,
well.
you can't even start no fire. There ain't no fucking oxygen in the burning wood. There was some.
Well,
Yeah.
if he had a plan where he could constantly accelerate, this is all about how much fuel you can expend or use, or what kind of system you're using. But you could use a concept where if you can keep a constant burn in one direction for half the way, you could burn at 1 g acceleration at a consistent level. So by the time you get halfway there, you flip it around, and then you decelerate the same way, and it'll take
It's
about
just
the same amount of
that's
time, and you're still
the whole,
generating 1 g. You'll still be generating 1 g if you.
whole equation is, man, is the time by itself to get there. You know.
Well, if you do it that way, you're going straight there. But the other way is to just do a burn at the beginning, and you're using like math to get there on a curve. You know what I mean? You're timing it out so that you're going, you know, you do one quick burn to kind of get a boost. But at that point,
I wonder.
then you have
I
then
wonder
you have
how
all
many.
weightless. Then it's all weightless though. You're in microgravity if you do it that way. You're just floating. So instead, if you go direct straight there in a straight line, there'll be a bit of a curvature to it. But mainly, what you're doing is you're maintaining a 1 g acceleration at all times because acceleration carries the gravity. It's not so much the weight or the speed. It's the amount of acceleration. So be it consistently accelerating at 1 g, and it'll work. And then you flip around and you just burn the same amount of fuel in the opposite direction to slow down, and you basically don't experience any microgravity. Now, it's reasonable because we don't have a fuel that we can burn at that rate to generate that amount of speed. And it would probably take about 6 or 7 days to get there with that method.
He says 10 years.
No, not in a straight line. The way that we do it now, yeah. But it depends. It's different every 2 years. There's a launch window to get there in less time. At its farthest points, it takes about 10 years. At its closest, there's about 2. But you can do it 3 months in a straight line. I think it's 3 months. Well, it depends on how much fast you're going, too. If you're maintaining 1 G of acceleration, you're going to be going pretty fast by the time you get X number of days. You're likely to get there in like 8 days or something, I think. Somebody, if anybody listens to this, they might they might do the math and do it down in the comments below. But we're just talking about random shit here. It's just me and some old friends from the old days, from the Fearborn propaganda, Ben Time Traveler days. Those were the days.
Yeah, he says Elon Musk sends that crew mission to Mars in 2029.
That's
We'll see.
Okay.
he always has really short time frames. That's actually more realistic than what I'm used to hearing from him. And maybe he's wisening up to his own self. He's like, we'll be there by next year. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, he's been completely grounded all year. He hasn't done any test flights out of Boca Chica.
Yeah, somebody else said something about that. Like
That was
like,
probably
that's
me.
been-
That was probably me earlier today.
It was probably you. Who else? No, I think it was. No, I think it was Ron. 'Cause I remember that there was a discussion about yeah, because I was. No, it was you because I was talking about the rocket guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah. So there you go. Said it.
I dropped it. Yeah, man. Well, how long have we been going on now? Well, we're going on 2 hours, 41 minutes. Where does the time go? Where does the time go? So it's got to be after, it's got to be almost, 130 over there. 125, 124, 123.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're 3
What
hours
time
ago.
is it? What time are you?
Yeah, I'm
We're at
10:23.
10:23.
10:23, yeah.
Oh, it's still early there.
Yeah, still early over here. But let's see here. 2.5 hours. Maybe we'll go into movie review mode in a little while. All right, what time are you up till there, Gematria?
After work tomorrow, so probably around 12. I should set it off.
No, we'll save the Picard review for tomorrow then. But
Yeah, I can't quit fucking multitasking and shit. I didn't even look at Ellen shit. Sorry about that, man. It's a bad habit, man.
no worries, man. And hey, man, no, it's just really super great to have you finally. We finally met together because I always miss you when you're live. I just catch you or something, and then we kind of keep missing each other, and it's like, shit.
Well, I was hanging out with a bunch of people from Hong Kong and shit, man, getting to meet some good people and shit, man.
Nice.
Fucking, yeah, and all of a sudden, fucking that all ended, and they just disappeared, man. I mean, literally, man, disappeared. And it's like, that's why I bring up Taiwan and shit, man. It's like,
Well,
see,
yeah.
I guess I do that, man. I get in them chat rooms, man, and shit, man. You translate shit, man, and see what's happening and shit, man.
And, you know, the more I look, I find basically two types of people out there: good, honest, hardworking people, or scammers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And usually I just meet, good people, whether they're interested in what you're talking about or not. You know what I mean? But mostly everybody out there is just trying to do their thing, be left alone, That's the majority, I think. But then, of course, a lot of people, kind of keep the cards close to their chest because of the scammers out there, and there's a lot of them to be aware of too. So.
Right.
But
Well-
I guess that's life. You're gonna say there, Ben?
I don't know.
Right.
let me hit my shit again. Hour number.
Well said.
Yeah, I'm honest.
This journalism free 100%. Yeah.
As long as I didn't leave my keys in the door, man, I'm good, man.
That's good, man. Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna end her here for the show. I'm going to I do a daily show. I just hadn't for the whole last week because I had tooth pain and I'm a useless pillow biting bitch when I got mouth pain. I ain't doing nothing. So I'm just gonna be honest with you right there. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing this daily. Sometimes I do it at noon. Sometimes I do it in the evening. But guess what? It's all right because it's always noon somewhere. And this is the Daily Noonerino. Do we want to?
Yeah.
Do we have anything that anybody wants to impart with our listener?
Nope.
No, that was great. Okay, that's the part where you speak, though. No,
Oh, really?
That's it.
Okay, we can beeline our face there. Thoughts yesterday, ride rap sideways down, toys, lost colors, make shit happen one time, turn it over time. This is what would happen on Robert J. Morris's channel. What's up, bitch?
Awesome. Couldn't have said it
Nice.
better myself, Gematria.
Not your database signing off.
All right, guys, it's been a slice. Don't do what I would do.
Good to talk to you, time traveler.
Yeah, man. We will hook up
Yeah,
again, man.
it was
a pleasure,
great.
man.
And you're always welcome back, man. Well, it was a pleasure. It's been too long. We got some other catching up to do, anyways. So don't go anywhere.
Yeah, bet, man. All right.